Let's have fun some, but this beat is sick. I want to take a ride on your disco stick.
That's such a great song.
Dude, that song's amazing.
Let's have some fun and eat some steak.
I want to take you on a real nice date.
I'm single. It's too hard.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows? As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about Aleister Crowley. You obviously know that already because you clicked on it. But yeah, Aleister Crowley, the wickedest man in the world. Before we get into it, follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast. Hit up our website, WRKpodcast.com. And yeah, hit up the Patreon too, patreon.com/WRKpod. Give us the money.
Yeah, help us thrive.
Give us your fucking money.
I want 2 nickels from each person that listens to this.
Just help us thrive, dude. We want stuff. You want us to have stuff.
Yeah. Perfectly put, Dylan. We need stuff.
And you guys want stuff too.
I don't have stuff.
Everyone wants stuff.
I'm gonna get stuff once you give it to me.
I got the good stuff.
I want another skin on League of Legends. Help me get another skin.
Give him a skin on League of Legends.
Yeah, outside of that, check out our gaming channel, WRK Games on YouTube. It's going to be a fun time. I don't know.
It is a fun time.
Yeah, we're going to launch a D&D campaign on there, so watch out for that. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
I know we've talked about it before. Grundle Stillskin, going to fucking charm all the ladies. Got like 19 charisma or some shit like that. It's whatever.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to hit you with some Aleister Crowley after this groovy tune. All right, so I announced it on our Twitter like a week ago because I'm super excited about this episode. We're talking about Aleister fucking Crowley, also known as the Master of the Damned and the most wicked man in the world. But he liked to call himself the Beast 666. He was a black magician, a drug fiend, and a sex addict, and a traitor to the British people. Based off that description, you can obviously tell why I'm super interested in this guy. He fit like if there was a Tinder profile for him, I would swipe right.
He would be like the next man to be the Dos Equis beer sponsor guy. Like the most
feared man in the world.
The legit most interesting man in the world.
Yeah. The Dos Equis or Dos Equis?
Dos Equis.
Yeah, whatever the fucking beer is. That guy doesn't hold a candle to this fucking dude. It's like, I traveled the mountain. He's like, yeah. Aleister was like, yeah, I hiked mountains all the time. I was born in the 1800s. What else was I supposed to do?
I don't always follow religions, but when I do, it's one I made up.
The number one cause of death of people in my era was cougar attacks, and not the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but he doesn't hold a candle. He's like, Aleister Crowley would be like, yeah, you did that? Well, I fucked my wife in the Great King's Temple in the pyramids of Giza.
What a story to tell the kids.
Yeah, geez, if they ever had they did have a kid together eventually, but it died.
Yeah.
You take your kid to China in 1894, your kid's going to die.
Of course he's going to get SARS.
Your kid's going to get some illness.
I didn't know that's when his kid was in. That's how his kid was. He was, when he was 2, like they were in China.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I never looked into why his kid actually died. I know that I read that he did have his son pass away. I just didn't know from what. Did it say?
Yeah, well, we'll get into it later. But yeah, his kid, he basically abandoned his family in China to go bang a Vietnamese hooker, and
Well, the life.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Aleister fucking Crowley,
Dude,
Crowley,
I'm just saying.
I need to get out of the habit of Ozzy Osbourne fucked me up.
I think Crowley. I think everyone understands that we mean to say Crowley, but honestly, Crowley rolls off the tongue way nicer.
Yeah, it's like word silk.
Crowley makes us sound like we're like speaking some fucking Britain fucking type
Who's
shit.
got
I don't
time?
know.
Ain't nobody got
The
time to
town.
unlearn Mr. Crowley by Black Sabbath.
We don't call him Tolley, okay? It's Crowley.
It's Toby from The
God
Office.
damn it, Toby.
So yeah, Crowley was born in 1875 into a wealthy brewing family. Like they were beer masters or whatever.
Wasn't
there
it
beer
distill?
still
I thought
around,
it
you
was
know?
it beer? I thought it was like
It
wasn't
It
it
just said
distillery?
brewery or brewing family was what I read.
Distillery is what
Yeah,
it said.
same fucking difference.
I wonder if
They made
fucking beer is
alcohol.
still
That's what I'm
around.
saying.
Or
I
alcohol's
wonder
still around.
that shit's probably fucking expensive as hell. All the fucking Satanists probably bought it out, to be honest.
Something like that. They were devout Christians, and they often warned him about the dangers of temptation. This isn't like the height of the Victorian era, like the 1875. Yeah.
Everyone's all God and fucking shit.
Yeah, everyone's like, if you don't claim Jesus Christ, you're gonna die. You're
And
going to
and
hell.
believed it, like
Yeah.
straight up believed it. I mean, I guess that they believe it now, but
Yeah, and they like warned him about all the terrible consequences of his sins, like all that Old Testament shit. They belonged to a sect of Protestants that were like known to be a really like radical sect. It's called the Plymouth Brethren, and some describe the sect as a group who believed in radical anti-pleasure. So it was like, you don't have sex for fun. You have sex to make a fucking baby, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what all the guys tell their wife, though.
Yeah.
We're not doing this because it's fun, Janet.
God damn it, Janet, you fucking bitch.
We're doing it 5 times a day because we need fucking kids. Okay, it's the way of our God. Okay,
You don't want to have sextuplets? Why are we not fucking right now?
That screams perfect reasoning to me.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
It's just a ploy. It's like, don't you enjoy it, Janet, you little bitch?
damn.
Janet was not in a good relationship.
Like I said, it's like an Old Testament shit.
Right. No pleasure, no fun.
No pleasure, no fun. Why they're making alcohol and preaching no pleasure, I don't know. No pleasure, no fun, but here's some fucking vodka.
That was his. What did we know about his grandparents? Because the grandparents, it said his dad. Said his dad was the preacher.
His dad was a traveling preacher, yeah.
And but the grandparents, what do we know about them? Like they obviously were
started a distillery.
I was gonna say,
and then the dad didn't want nothing to do from it, so he fucking got away from that life and fucking was preaching with this fucking Plymouth settlement.
Do we know? Did his dad actually take the money and just not use it, or did he just say
I think it said that his dad didn't want anything to do with any of the brewing money or anything like that.
Right.
And then I don't know.
But did he that's what I'm saying. Like, did he just hide it in his bank and he told everyone? He's like, "No, guys, I know it seems weird that I took in the $6 million, but trust me, I don't want nothing to do with it. That money, not for me. Okay.
Don't look at my account. It's not there."
Yeah. Those 5 purchases I spent last week at the fucking whorehouse wasn't
honestly
me.
If this guy really loved Jesus, he would have given the money to the church, but
See,
I'm just saying.
I don't think the grandparents were about Jesus, because who drinks beer and I mean around
I'd
that
have
time,
a beer with Jesus.
Well, I mean that's such a country song.
I had a beer with Jesus.
Yeah, I don't. That's just odd to me that that's how that family turns out. Like you got his dad, Crowley's dad, rebels against his parents and says, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm not drinking beer. I'm gonna be a church man." And then 50-50 Crowley's now like, "Fuck you, Dad."
So
Well, he traveled with his dad. He wanted had a really strong relationship with his father, and his dad was known as like a crusader, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to, when he was really young, he wanted to do what his dad was
So he's
doing.
always wanted to change people's lives. Always wanted to expand.
But he used to want to do it for the better.
Well, I mean, how do you know what he did was not for the better?
I mean, like when he was growing
for
up,
the people that followed him, it was not for the better.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, my dude.
I think.
Well, that was safe in the 60s when the drugs were made in a lab.
Well, he did it in the fucking 1900s when it was cool.
Turn of the century. Let's do
What
some
a fucking edgelord, dude.
This fucking weirdo, for sure. But yeah, his dad was a traveling preacher, and he went with his father to do like the traveling preachings and shit like that. And he would do mountain climbing when they were traveling and shit like that. And his dad died when he was 11, and his devotion to the church turned into anger because he was just mad at the 11-year-old kid whose dad that he idolized just died, and he turned into like hating. He fucking hated his mother. He hated the church, and he hated the tutors that his mother hired to like teach him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was 11, he changed completely as a person.
That's when his balls probably dropped. Like, I mean, that's the perfect time if you're gonna change it all and turn fucking badass. You might as well do it.
So what was the solution? Let his mom. What'd she do?
His mom sent him away.
Oh yeah.
What do you do with a troubled child in that time? You sent him away. You sent him to boarding school. But he became really rebellious after that, and he started attacking.
Boarding school?
I heard something about his uncle.
That's what I thought.
He got sent to his uncle or whatever.
Like his uncle. I don't know if
then he was in boarding schools and all.
Yeah,
kinds
well, I
of
heard
places.
his uncle fucking was like this really cool dude, and this was like the first time he's ever had like fun or whatever, you know. And they fucking he like when he was 15 years old bought fucking young fucking Crowley a fucking prostitute to lose his virginity and shit too.
Oh, he didn't lose his virginity to a prostitute. He lost his virginity at 14 to the handmaiden at his mother's house. And he fucked her in the bed. He fucked her in his mom's bed to get back at her for not liking her.
Because I know it says that his uncle bought him a prostitute so he could lose his virginity.
Yeah, and then
but he did do that.
He came back to his mom's after he had those few years because he was sick. He was a sick kid, and he went, and it was like because he was getting malnourished and shit like that from fucking because they weren't feeding him fucking right because they only thought that you need food only when you need a little bit of food, and if you eat too much food, that's a sin. So they were like malnourishing the kid.
It is a sin, it's gluttony.
Yeah, exactly. But they were fucking malnourishing him, so they fucking sent him to go live with his uncle because his uncle was like, oh, he needs to live in the country, so he fucking lives in the country or whatever, and then. After his uncle like shows him fucking life, he goes back there and he's like, dude, he's like full anarchy at this state and shit. And then I think that's when he fucks his mom's like handmaiden or whatever
in her bed.
Hell yeah,
power play. I know someone in my family who did that. Epic.
Same.
not me, dude.
I mean I've had sex in your mom's bed. Not with your mom, though.
Not with your mom.
Not with your mom.
Who was the lucky lady?
No, I'm just kidding. I haven't.
I've heard there's been many people who I know slept in my mom's bed. All related. So, I mean, it's only weirder, but...
Oh,
God.
It was a couple of step family of mine like to get it on my parents' bed. I don't know what their deal is with it.
Jeebus
Christ, dude. Makes no sense.
So, yeah, he had sex with his mom. Yeah, I just think that's so funny that he banged his mom's fucking maid in her bed.
Hell yeah.
That'll show you, Barbara, you stupid bitch. It's around this time that he like came out to be bisexual too. Which I don't know why we're so put off about bi dudes. But by chicks, it's like, watch out, boy. This chick is hot. She's going to get all the free cocaine that she wants. Like, and then the dudes are like just shunned out of existence. Yeah. It's just weird. It's like, you want to make out with a girl in front of me? Fuck yeah, do it. Here's some coke.
Well, when did it talk about him actually? Because I know it talked about when he kind of had like the first guy that he was interested in. But I don't remember, like, what did he start? Does it say anything like what he started coming out as? Like, what was he saying? Like,
well, he was always like attracted to dudes and chicks. After he started becoming sexual.
Wow. I mean, you fuck one chick, you fuck them all.
I mean, look what happens when people follow the Bible too hard. They start fucking little kids,
right?
I mean, this got what 14 years of Bible thumping.
Fuck yeah.
I can imagine being
booty humping.
I can imagine being raised in that time.
as a guy who's a part of the church,
So,
as a boy, a part
You
of the
think he was
church.
getting raped as a boy?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm thinking maybe.
But he was traveling with his dad, so I mean it's kind of a hard one to tell. Like I feel like if you were like the dad who wasn't in the church and you were like, Jimmy, stop crying about what the preachers did to you, okay? We need to get higher up in the church, all right?
It's a part of the
Alright.
church, damn it.
What if, maybe his dad was like, hey, man, you can offer up that booty hole for these men to fucking put me as cardinal.
But then his dad wouldn't have been. Yeah, that's weird because they were so against like
Pleasure.
gay shit
Yeah, I
back then. They're so against just the homosexuality back in the day. Like, why would any of the priests do it back then? I mean,
I don't know. They talked about it in Assassin's Creed.
did they really?
Yeah, there's one that's like is the one where you're in France. Was it Assassin's Creed Unity when you're in France or whatever? Like one of the first assassinations is like a preacher or like a Catholic church guy, Catholic priest.
I didn't know that.
Oh well, that's just that. Did he have little boys? Like, was he throwing
It's
little boys
it's
at you?
implied.
Like, it's implied.
It's implied.
You did
It's
not
implied a
pay
little
the
bit.
troll toll.
Yeah, he did not pay the troll toll. So you fucking diving bomb, hidden blade in the back of the head.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how all pedophiles should be handled.
Definitely.
Just some fucking guy swoops down with a hawk on his shoulder. And just fucking a blade comes out of his wrist like Baraka, but not.
No, that'd be dope.
I would watch that.
Dude, that's what we need. Bring some fucking assassins back, and not the dumb kind that just shoot someone.
Executions, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to bring back public hangings.
I've brought that up. I brought that topic up a couple times, and it just people are just like, no. And I'm like, yes.
The people that are about it, if you really think about it, are women, dude. I mean, I've never seen a dude that was like, oh no, I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, but guys are into fucked up shit.
Yeah,
I mean, some chicks are, but it's like all guys are
exactly.
in the back of every guy's head. It's like, yeah that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And girls just got those like, not say nourishment, but that's not the right word.
Nurturing.
Nurturement.
Think about like
nurturement.
the back in the day too.
That sounds like a new Trident flavor. It's nurturement.
For moms everywhere.
Dude, people nowadays, like you'll talk to like underprivileged kids and they're like, yeah, I don't mind, like I'll get locked up, I don't care. But think about kids growing up, seeing people get fucking hanged. Kids would be like, yeah, my ass ain't getting on that block, no way in hell.
Think back in the day, man, motherfuckers.
Wild West style, dude. Just me in the middle of Main Street, two guys, two revolvers.
Have one guy hidden on the
Dude,
side.
I would love to see Dan
before you even
do that shit. Dan Trelka, go out there. Let me see you.
It probably end up like that time I almost shot your neighbor.
Probably.
Oh Jesus!
It was an accident.
It was not an accident.
We were fanning the hammer.
We were in McCree. I don't know if you guys understand, man.
You were fucking.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you. Fair
Because
enough.
he's got a 2-action revolver, so you just hold the trigger down and just.
Dude, that shit's fucking awesome. I've done that once.
His neighbor comes rolling over and
That's
he's
the most
like,
powerful.
"Would you guys mind not shooting towards my fucking house?"
We're like, we're not even shooting towards your house, but all right, dude.
He was
all right about it. At least he didn't get too.
Yeah,
mad.
he literally was like, "You guys can shoot in my field if you want." We're like, "Nah."
And we're done.
Just like beer cans everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't drink and shoot guns.
Just do it. Just be responsible.
Be more responsible than we were on that day.
I was out a few days ago when my dad came into town, and I was getting pretty hammered and shooting bow and arrows and AR-15. I was doing it all, man. It wouldn't have been as fun if I wasn't drinking. You know?
Exactly.
Oh man.
But I did it responsibly, so fuck everyone else.
Drink responsibly. Drink on a firearm.
You gonna come take away my guns? You better hope I'm not fucking toasted.
Better hope that I wasn't day drinking.
Piece of shit! I got a bow and arrow.
That
I'm not
is
even
the
gonna.
best
I'm not
fucking
even gonna.
response I've ever.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
You need to find like now that you finally have Twitter, you need to find like God, what's the guy? Beto O'Rourke is like campaigning to do like a mandatory buyback on guns.
Oh my god.
And you need to find like a tweet where he endorses that and be like, you want to take my gun? Better hope I'm not toasted. Just tweet it at him. It would be so fucking funny. Oh my god, I'm literally starting to cry.
That would maybe give me more than 3 followers, so that'd be awesome. That would jumpstart my Twitter career.
Still not on
God,
Twitter.
holy fuck.
Get it, Michael. Get on it so we can follow each other.
I'm not good at tweetering, man.
I don't think I've had a
I'm
post.
not been on the Twitter totter long enough.
Not had a post.
Your old account has some funny ass Twitter posts.
Those
I got drunk
days.
with your girlfriend one day at the bar, and we were reading your old Twitter posts. Not drunk, but we were drinking, reading your old Twitter posts. Like, mom's in a bitchy mood. I got pizza in the oven, so I'm all right.
No idea. It's too bad, dude.
Chris, it's like 2011. I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny.
Oh yeah.
I'm literally crying right now.
Dude, fuck it. Those are the days when I was funny, man. I need to go back in time and be like, yo, can you write some fucking material for me?
Write some material.
Give me lines, damn it. Just gotta go back to saying dumb shit all the time.
Right.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you're just throwing out fucking shitty jokes, one of them's gonna stick.
Right. I'm pretty sure that's what I did at the time. Just kept fucking posting shit for like a good 2
You would
weeks.
just like say something, like look at us and see if we were laughing, and then just say something else.
Dude, those are the days, man.
Just like look at us, be like, "Yo, mom's being a bitch." Oh fuck! Ooh, it's getting spicy up in here. I just saw 2 nipples.
Those like fucking pumpkin spicy.
It's so fucking spicy in here. So what? Let's get on this fucking Crowley kid. Where are we even at? I fucking have no recollection.
So we just talked about him. We were kind of talking about him being bisexual and how he got sent away to schools. He got sent away to Cambridge, was one of the schools that he went to, and he failed to stand out as a student. Like, he did nothing to make him seem more than like the average or above the average student. The only time that he really stood out at Cambridge was when he got expelled for contracting gonorrhea from a prostitute.
Damn.
Nice.
And I saw that in Cambridge is where he first confessed his love to another man, which was his roommate or something like that.
I don't think it was. Was it a roommate?
I don't know if it was a roommate.
It was
somebody.
Maybe it was a classmate or
that
something.
liked to dress in drag all the time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm liking the sound of this. Keep going.
I think I saw a picture of it too, and she looked hideous.
I mean,
He or she looked hideous.
might have smashed.
Z. Might have smashed. I mean, anyone that was willing to bang Aleister Crowley, like this guy was not very handsome.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's
Those
think about
pictures of him when he was like doing mountain expeditions, when he had like a rugged ass beard and just
Dude, what a fucking
dude.
Who he reminds me of? Who's that guy nowadays? That's,
Michael Carrion.
No, that gets all those fucking ladies, and he fucking was at fucking the Vegas shooting and shit. And
Brian.
no, and he asked that police officer, "Oh, give me a gun, I'm so and so." Fuck, and the police officer just looked at him and was like, "Who?" God damn, and
No
he's got like
idea.
that black beard, and he's got like, and he's on like Instagram, fucking famous guy.
Oh, with all the ladies?
Yeah,
I don't know who he is, but I know who you're talking about.
who the fuck am I talking about?
Keemstar.
Damn, I can't-
Killer Keemstar.
That's who Aleister Crowley reminds me of.
Fair enough. We'll have to figure it out. If you remember it, just shout it the fuck out.
Just yell it.
Don't worry.
Oh, by the way, word of the day was Keaton. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I literally thought that. I was like, dude, please make it up. Just say I got it.
So, yeah, he got expelled from Cambridge for getting gonorrhea from a prostitute. At least that's what the BBC documentary that I watched said.
Hold up. We had Emma Tukin says Dan Bilzerian.
Yes, she's right. Dan Bilzerian or whatever. That's who he reminds me
Who
of.
the fuck is he?
He's
Some
an
fucking party
Instagram
boy,
dude that
dude.
just like
Instagram
parties
party
and he's
boy.
rich as fuck and just has
And he
hot
told
chicks.
that the Vegas shooting was just like, yo, give me a gun.
Yeah, he told the police officer to give him a gun.
So we know he wasn't the shooter then. That's what we.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Well, he was there at the Luke Bryan concert and was like,
Was it
I don't
Luke
know.
Bryan even? I don't even remember who was
I
playing.
don't fucking know. Probably
Could have been
Luke
Keith
Bryan.
Urban or
Fucking some turd. And fucking no, he was like went up to the fucking was like, "Hey, I'm an ex-Marine. Give me a gun." Da 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 da. And the police officer was like, "What?"
It's a country concert. Everyone here is an ex-Marine. I mean, for real though.
I'm surprised he had to ask a police officer if it was a country concert. He probably could have just asked someone in the crowd.
Just pulls like Get Hard just pulls a revolver out of his butt. It's like, was that in there the whole time?
Dude, yeah.
Have all of these been in your butt? Most of them.
That's teaching
him how to keister shit.
I feel like it depends on what concert it would be though. What type of hicks that you have at the concert.
Well, it was in Vegas, so I don't think it was that kind of hicks.
Well, if it was Luke Bryan, it was probably just a bunch of girls
Mm-hmm.
who got brought there by their fucking grandparents or
I
something.
believe you on that one.
It was Kenny Chesney the whole time. We're just talking shit about
It probably was.
It's like
I bet you.
Kenny Chesney.
Let's see. I get 10 Brazilians and I'm damn Brazilian.
I get 10 Brazilians like I'm Dent. Oh wait, yeah. Emma actually showed me pictures, I remember she showed me him on wherever the fuck he's on Instagram. I don't know. Good for him.
I would like to take a good.
Well, that's what I would be like if I had all the money in the
As long
world.
as they
I'd be
put out,
like,
that's
it'd be like,
whatever.
do you know who the fuck I am?
Give me a fucking.
I'm Dan fucking
Give me-
Bilzerian,
Give me
dude.
your state issued pistol right now. I'm
All right.
fucking Dan Vizinieri.
I'm Brazilian. I'm Brazilian John.
Dan Bilzerian.
I don't know. I'd get a Brazilian.
Says he owns a cannabis company too.
Sure he does.
I bet.
Get all them tricky bitches. So while Crowley was while he was in Cambridge, he finally felt free of his family's like grasp on him, and he began writing poetry on his obsession with sex. And one poem that I saw, I'm gonna read it to you guys. It's pretty fucked up. I'm gonna read a couple lines.
Roses
off
are
it.
red, and cat's blood is also red.
So, no,
Blood is also red.
it's even worse. It says, when Celia comes, this earth quakes hour, the bed vibrates like kettle drums. Its grand display, the power when Celia comes. When Celia farts, my hasty nose sniffs up the fragrance of the parts. Shamed are the violets and roses when Celia farts.
Shamed are the. What is
I
it?
mean, it's not bad though.
Shamed are the violets
Like-
and roses when Celia
Shamed are the violets and roses when Emma farts.
farts.
Beautiful.
It's, like where is this book of sex poems?
Dude, I would fucking love to like read this whole book of his poems.
Yeah. His poetry was considered so pornographic at the time of the Victorian era, he could have been prosecuted for publishing it.
No shit.
So he published it abroad. So there is a book. I just haven't been able to find it because
Oh,
otherwise I
shit.
would have bought it like yesterday. Or
If every poem's like that, fuck yeah, I want to read every single poem. I was gonna try and find some. I've totally spaced it off, dude. I forgot.
we were talking about it on Saturday.
There
I
was
was like, I
another-
found a spicy poem and I'm not going to tell you about it until we do the podcast. I was like, dude, it's so fucking funny. Oh no.
If we've not smelled somebody's
What's his
fart.
name again? Steve?
Sure.
His spatula fell.
Steve, the fucking B666.
And I don't think it was it Stan? I don't remember.
Uh,
We'll just give him a new name every time.
All right, George.
George, your spatula.
Fuck you,
I was thinking about taking my like going to the garage and getting my saw and sawing that into a pitchfork.
That would be dope.
For those listeners, I have a little Halloween decoration that's a devil with a cape, and Michael found a wooden spatula on a job site, and brought it in, and now it's his little fucking weapon.
This is pitchfork.
His name is
Pitchfork spoon. It's a spork.
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
There's a guy, Gelfling, or not a Gelfling,
Podling.
Tiefling that uses a wooden spoon as a weapon in the Dark Crystal. Just shouting that out there.
What the fuck is a dark crystal?
You don't want to know.
I guess I do.
They take back your man card when you watch it. I want to watch it.
It was a Jim Hensing film. Or, well, it was a show by Jim Hensing, but the guy who did the fucking
Oh,
movie with,
Van Helsing.
what's his
Stan
name?
Helsing.
The Moira lookalike guy.
David Bowie.
David Bowie in
Pan's
the
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. In the Labyrinth with David Bowie. That was a Jim Hensing.
Oh, no shit.
Ah.
Anyways, yeah. So, fucking wooden spoons and George. I don't fucking know
And Celia's farts.
that the roses and
Who is
violets
we need
die
to
or
learn
something.
who Celia is.
I don't know, man.
I need to figure out what.
Maybe Celia's not even her real name. It just sounded better.
Maybe Celia fucking.
It's like
had
he was
some
banging
fucking
some
chili.
girl named Gertrude, and he's like, "I'm gonna call you Celia."
You Celia.
What
tonight,
is
babe.
this? Is this like an early poem? Do we know exactly? That was in Cambridge. So what if this is about his fucking cross-dressing boyfriend,
Dude.
who's just some dude who just likes to
Just
rip
like
ass every
fucking
once in a
just
while?
huge ass, like dudes do. In front of each other.
Dude, if you haven't farted during sex, what are you doing?
Nothing. You're not having sex.
You don't. I usually fart into like their mouths. Right.
Way
Oh
down.
yeah, that was another.
Mouth.
That was another poem of his.
Michael, you farted in my mouth again.
What's that scary movie or what? Scary Movie 2 when she's having sex with a ghost or whatever. He's like talk dirty. We should like fart in my mouth.
No, it's not
It's
Ray.
Ray. It's Ray.
Yeah, it's Ray.
I want you to talk dirty to me, Ray.
I'm gonna piss
Or talk
on your
dirty-
face. I'm gonna fart in your mouth. I'm gonna shit all over these goddamn walls, Ray.
Here, put this on. Put these shoulder pads on. Put this helmet on.
Ooh, I feel dirty. It's so fucking funny.
What he calls her some guy's name like fucking Jake or something. I don't know. Ray is like the black Aleister Crowley.
Uncle Ray Ray's got a game to play when he rapes that clown.
Amazing. Incredible.
That shit too wild. So when he was at Cambridge, he had grown an interest in magic and the occult. He had heard about a secret society on the campus that practiced magic and had occult gatherings. And he was not only intrigued by the idea of secret societies, but he grew obsessed with it.
Was this when he heard about this? Did he hear? I can't remember because the society was just about using magic, right? It wasn't talking about like using. Wait, was it like dark magic? Like is that was here
Which
just
one was
magic?
this? What was the name of this?
This
one?
was the Golden Circle.
Oh, okay.
So at 21 years old, he obtained a large trust fund, which freed him from any future financial worries, kind of, because he burnt through it. But he finally found what he was looking for, or it's the Golden Dawn, not the Golden Circle, the Golden Dawn. It was a secret society that dedicated the practice of the occult. It was made with mainly upper class members of society, wealthy people, artists, and intellectuals of the time. Bram Stoker, the guy who wrote Dracula. Yeah, he was in it. He was in that cult. W.B. Gates, the poet, was also a member. He was actually like one of the highest ranking members of the cult or coven. I don't know what you call it.
Covens are witches.
That's just weird though to me to have like a whole like you have a whole cult about fucking club about like doing magic and shit. And these are like sound people. Like these are people in
like
the
really
right mind.
wealthy, intelligent.
Like yeah.
I mean,
in the
Crowley
right
was
mind.
very intelligent himself.
And
He
these
just wasn't an academic.
And these are people like I heard that these people had fucking like had said that they had fucking bought fucking scriptures and fucking shit like that from fucking Egypt that they fucking had said that they had deciphered and knew fucking these spells from them or whatever like that.
Yeah. A lot of their occult worship is a lot. It follows a lot of Egyptian shit and paganism.
Wait,
So like witches are pagans,
right?
Yeah,
Right.
like shit. Like it's like the occult revolves around paganism, and one of the most successful pagan country or like societies ever was Egypt. I mean, they were around for what, like 2,000 years? Like they're around before Christ and after Christ, and
You said you called Egypt a what? A cult?
no,
Okay, what?
no,
I
it's,
don't know.
it's like
happened.
I was
it's like
confused.
the Egyptian society back when they had like when they praised Ra and
Oh,
shit like
okay.
that. Like that society lasted for thousands of years.
Isn't that crazy? Like, yeah, that's a civilization right there. The fact that they didn't have Teslas back in that time blows my mind.
They probably did.
Yeah,
Probably have floating Teslas.
I mean they built crazy things with just no help from aliens.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, they like worship like the god. Like they basically pick the gods that they want to worship, and they're like, oh well, Ra is cool, Osiris is cool. Fuck Nasus,
Mhm.
or what is he actually called? What is it? It's Abu.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck god is he supposed to be? Nasus. It's the gatekeeper of hell, basically.
Oh, fucking what's the name of Hercules?
Oh, Hades?
Oh.
No. wrong era.
Darn.
So it is his inclusion in the Golden Dawn that he starts to feel like he's really onto something and not just acting like a rebellious teenager anymore. And like there's more like substance in what he's doing.
Yeah.
That he's like, oh, okay, so all this time I was actually doing something that mattered or led to something. At first,
he had a destiny.
At first he was just doing it just to do it to piss people off.
You know what's a weird thought that I kind of just had, maybe because I'm stoned? Everybody thinks that the universe is expanding. What if the universe was coming together?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you have as much of a right to say that's true as everyone else does.
Because isn't fucking, isn't everything you do for a fucking certain reason?
Nope.
No, I do a lot of shit just to do it.
Control chaos, right?
I don't believe in that destiny shit. I only believe in karma when something actually happens. That it's like karma, and I'm
When
like,
something bad happens to
yeah.
me, it's like,
I
God damn
remember.
it.
All right.
No, not to me, to other people. If it happens to me, I'm just like, my fucking luck, dude. God fuck me.
True that.
Karma, though, to other fucking assholes, I believe that someday they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Their wife's gonna be a bitch and peg them in the butt.
I mean,
That's what
Is
they
she
get.
a bitch if she does that, or
that's
is she like a
pleasure,
saint?
Nah,
Wow.
she's just a bitch.
Knife, he was asking to be pegged in the butt.
So, as time passed, when he was in the Golden Dawn, started to be like a disappointment to him, thinking that the society was playing magic. They weren't like really trying to control it. And he clashed with one of the higher members, W.B. Gates, calling him a lank, disheveled demonologist, which I could just assume at that time was just a howling insult.
What an insult.
Fucking lank, bro. What was it? You
lank, disheveled demonologist.
You
You know
lank,
nothing
disheveled.
about power.
You're so fucking disheveled, dude.
Well, I mean, called him a fucking.
Everyone
called him a tall, fucking unkempt, motherfucking.
You're not cool enough. Everyone
Yeah,
here
he's
says you're
studying.
lank.
I mean, he didn't really do anything except for he was pretty much calling this place the fucking Golden Dawn. Pretty much calling them that they just studied these demons.
You guys are a bunch of fucking posers.
Exactly, dude. These guys aren't fucking doing no real magic.
Yeah,
Dude,
he
you
said
guys
that they were playing magic.
Yeah, you guys just study this shit. You don't fucking actually do anything. So, and then he starts doing a lot of drugs.
He broke, or at that point when he got in that argument with W.B. Gates, he left, or he moved on from the Golden Dawn, and this is how he phrased it, and their vanilla magic practices.
Hey, Q92.3
Dude,
magic practice.
They actually say they're vanilla.
I think so.
Dude,
Yeah.
if that term's been around, oh my
Dude,
god,
that's
that's
fucking
beautiful.
crazy because that's how I've just described a lot of my dates that I've had recently.
Yeah, vanilla.
They're just fucking
right?
vanilla, bro, and it's fucking annoying. Like, why do you guys gotta be so Q92.3?
Why aren't you tongue punching my fart box?
Yeah, right, dude.
You know, like
Why?
don't kiss me goodbye, kiss my butt goodbye.
It's like tongue punch my butt clit with your mouth dick. I don't know.
So this is the point when he moved on to start practicing black magic.
Ooh-wee.
Yes. So after leaving the Golden Dawn, Crowley purchased property on Lake Loch Ness to perform rituals in. He never mixed with the locals in northern Scotland, but he kept no secrets about what he was doing there. And they're very superstitious people up in that part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept their fucking distance. The locals wouldn't even walk past his estate.
I mean, his estate looked like it was
Ooh,
out
fucking
almost in the middle of nowhere.
Big ass
Yeah.
fucking mansion, dude.
I mean,
Yeah,
for
it's
that
huge.
time,
It was,
yeah,
like,
it was
right on the
fucking
side
for
of,
that
like,
time.
lake,
That
though,
place
wasn't
was
it?
giant.
Because he was supposed to be, he was doing this like Abrahamic fucking ritual that he fucking tried to do.
Abernalum.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Abrahamic.
Abraham ritual, dude.
To the Abrahamic gods, right?
I need to make contact with the president of the United States. I could just see like Nicolas Cage playing Aleister Crowley saying that. Just like, I need to make contact.
Abrahamic is like fucking the gods that everybody worships nowadays because we all worship the same god. You know, stupid ass shit. But it's like no, and it's like no, I was going with that. Something about how cool it was.
Well, he needed to be like desolated, like away from people.
Oh yeah, about how he fucking did this fucking ritual for fucking like days on days and days.
Oh, it was months. It was like 3 months he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's considered to be one of the first extreme steps in his pursuit for black magic. It's the Abernalum ritual that he did, which dates back to the 14th century. And the ritual takes 6 months, and its aim is to master demons. The ritual is considered extremely dangerous because if the ritual goes wrong, the spirits that you conjure will be set free and even likely inhabit the magician trying to perform the ritual.
So listen to he said it was supposed to take 6 months, and he left after 3 because he didn't think it was going anywhere. So he left after 3
until he took his 8th tab of LSD, and then he's like, "Wow, I think I'm on to something."
Well, LSD wasn't invented yet, so it's probably like mescaline, but probably.
I thought he was taking
we'll get
psychedelics.
we'll
Maybe
get
not
into-
LSD, but psychedelics.
Well, he only did peyote once.
Oh,
that was like one of the only psychedelic other than mushrooms.
I thought it talked about him doing psychedelics.
I talked about
really
using psychedelics a lot with worships and shit like that.
I know that he would do heroin and cocaine at the same time.
Yes, I heard that he was a heroin addict.
But it talked about
a crippling heroin addict.
I don't know, this might be farther up, and I don't remember where he was at, but with like the paintings on the wall, he would tell the people that were there, they'd say, you need to take the hallucinogens
and shit,
and you need to stare at this picture that I painted really fucked up for hours.
So we'll get into that. The mural room.
The way to get into your soul, dude, to your own soul, is look at a mirror while you're tripping balls, dude, and just stare at yourself into your eyes.
Don't get me horny.
And see all the bad things you've done in your life and just fucking look at all the bad things you've done through your fucking eyes, dude.
I've stared at myself in the mirror.
I'm pretty sure that I would just end up exploding if I did that because I done a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah, dude. But dude, I heard fucking, Jimmy Page had bought his fucking house or whatever, on Lake Loch Ness.
Did he?
Yeah.
Someone finally bought it?
Well,
I was watching this BBC documentary where they're like, yeah, you can still rent it and live there. And it's like, whoa, that's kind of
fucking... that Jimmy Page is
had recently bought it, or not recently, but like at one point had bought his house.
I mean, this documentary
and he was
from
like
the 90s. So.
And he was like, dude, fucking this house is haunted as fuck.
Jimmy Page, wasn't that? Didn't it say, is it Van Halen? Was it Van Halen, or was it...
I can't believe you don't know who Jimmy Page is.
Jimmy fucking Page.
Yeah. It's Led Zeppelin, dude.
Oh, duh, Led Zeppelin. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Jimmy Page from Eddie Van Halen's band?
Right. Yeah, well, there's other people in Van Halen's band, dog. I fucking...
his brother, Van Halen.
They were both Van Halen, or Halen's. All right, fuck it.
All right, okay, so, yeah, dude, and he's like, dude, it was probably from the fucking demons he let loose there, dude. And shit.
Yeah. Well, the first step of the ritual is not to attempt the ritual. Literally, that's what it said.
Right on.
And then one of the steps, if you ignore the first step, is to for Abernalum, is to conjure up your guardian angel. And it said that when Crowley achieved this step, even in broad daylight, the room in the house went so dark that he had to light candles to continue the ritual.
And what was his guardian angel's name?
I don't know.
It started. It says in his book. It started with an A, dude.
Oasis or
Awea or something.
Awea.
Oh yeah, it is in that book. By the way, I bought his Bible. Not
Awais, AIWASS. Claimed to be his guardian angel.
Yeah, it's fucked up shit. He eventually gave up on the ritual after months due to the fact that he didn't want to live on bread and water anymore, which is part of the ritual. You can only consume bread and water. And
poops, dude, it's like everywhere.
Yeah. Which says something about his like lustful lifestyle. Is like he wanted it so bad, but he didn't want to like live in. I mean, it comes back from his like childhood, like where he's malnourished. He didn't want to live that anymore. He had all the fucking money in the world.
Well, what was it saying, dude? That like Probably get into this later. I'm gonna hold it up.
All right. Well, it's like some people like to think that this is where he became evil, I guess, and where he became possessed by a demonic spirit that he was trying to control, as in like he like lost the battle and now he's a vessel. And some of his actions and decisions after that, like, kind of contribute to that, to where he just completely changed the path that he was going on. But the main reason he left the ritual, you guys got any guesses?
For some booty.
For some booty is right. Yeah, he met a society member or a secret society member named Rose Kelly, and he married her the day after they met. And he described Rose Kelly as, she henceforth added the qualities as a perfect wife, but those of a perfect mistress.
Hey, so she brought both worlds.
Right.
Which means she has a fat ass.
The fattest of asses.
And so the day after they got married, they went to Egypt on their honeymoon. And that's when he officially left the Abernalim ritual, is when they went to Egypt. And they spent one of the first nights on their honeymoon in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And he took her there to show what a great magician he really was. He was just trying to brag and like show her how cool he was. And he used what is called Goitia. We'll call it Goitia.
Is that like back in the day?
It's the closest thing. No, it's the closest thing that there was at the time to a book of black magic. And it's considered to be the lesser key of Solomon.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with spiritual magic, but is used strictly to raise demons. And like, could you imagine like knowing someone for 8 days and then they pulled that shit? Like, hey, let's break into the Great Pyramids and do some blood magic. Let's raise some demons, baby.
I mean, she was inside of this.
Just a demon crawls
she's
out of her
inside of
butt.
the society. She's like fucking.
Yeah,
she's ready to go.
She already knows what she's getting into.
She's like, this guy will protect me. Okay.
Like, are you off your fucking horse to like trust that guy?
Yeah.
People back in the day,
Dude,
they
you know how much money this
believe
man
anything,
had?
dude.
Shit, this man had money and fucking power, and I'll let him into my booty hole.
Yeah, I mean, like, the sex might be great, but you got gonorrhea now. Like,
Well,
why the fuck would you actually go along with that? I just don't get it.
Fucking get some pills for that.
At that point, do you think that she was like, well, I'm in too deep. I just gotta fucking
Gotcha.
roll with the punches? Like,
You know how scary that shit would be.
and he starts just like singing like druidic chants. Like, no thanks, I'd be fucking out there.
See, druidic chants, I usually think more of like on the Mummy when he's trying to raise them up and he's like screaming fucking like Latin at the motherfucking shit. I don't know.
I think like Gaelic chorus, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, like he's like out there being like,
Like Halo's gonna come in.
Yeah. Like, I'd bounce. I'd be out of that bitch so fast. If I went somewhere with someone, they started doing that. Like, it was like the only thing lighting the room was candles. I'd be like, I'm fucking out of here. I'd probably stab the fucking dude. Just like make sure I get out.
Is this when we're talking about like over in Egypt? Is this the same chick that you brought up a while back about talking about the old pegging? Did we have anything on that?
I don't think we've talked about that.
You said that was the first thing you ever said to me about Crowley.
Oh, no. That he had a dude peg him, but that's different. That's like 10 years further.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So, so he went on to write that after his ritual, he kept a journal like his whole life. And his journal said that after the ritual, his newlywed kept repeating, "They're waiting for you, they're waiting for you, they're waiting for you," throughout the honeymoon. He eventually asked her, "Who is waiting for me?" And she replied, "Horus," who is the fucking Egyptian god.
Yeah.
Like
The god of the sun.
No, that's Ra.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what Horus is the god of. It's been a long time since elementary
right.
school. That's the last time anyone talked to me about
Elementary school,
Egyptian gods. So Crowley like grew really jealous of his wife, who knew nothing about like actual magic or Egyptology. Yet
Did
she
she
claimed
not,
that she
though?
was she was just part of like a society, like a rich people's club society.
Oh,
kind
like
of thing.
that kind of, not like an actual. Okay, never mind. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when she starts hearing that shit in that king's chamber and there's like a candle lit, I'm like, I'd be fucking out of there so fast.
Well, they said that fucking like, you know how he didn't believe her a bunch and shit like that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was super jealous because she didn't know anything about what she was talking about. And she claimed to be the message bearer for the Egyptian god Horus. So he took her to an Egyptian museum in Cairo. And there she rushed through the aisles of the museum. And to his amazement, stopped in front of a depiction of Horus and said, "There he is. This is who's waiting for you."
And what was the fucking the number of the exhibit?
The exhibit was number 666. And Crowley was stunned. And while he was trying to figure out what this meant, Rose said they needed to go back to their hotel and the answers would come there.
I heard that fucking they said that somewhere said that Crowley didn't fucking that they weren't talk to him because of his ego kind of thing. Like he thought too much of himself, so they didn't. So the gods would not talk to him. So
Probably.
So,
that guy
yeah.
was so full of himself.
So he figured he needed to humble himself a little bit.
So Crowley was about to have the revelation that would spark a sect of belief based on sex and black magic.
Hmm.
The book of, what is this? The
The book
book of the law. Yeah, that's what he wrote. In all of his ritual attempts so far, he himself was unable to communicate with a dementic entity, which he saw as a failure. And he would have to make this connection to obtain the next level of black magic is what he thought, and he was just obsessed with it. So on midday, so like noon on April 4th, 1904, in his hotel room in Cairo, where his wife told him to wait and receive his message, what he'd been waiting for his whole life happened. For 1 hour between noon and 1 over the next 3 days, he heard an unearthly voice from over his shoulder. And through this voice, over those 3 days, he wrote what he called the Book of the Law. And that's where the Bible for his new religion started.
Mm.
So he just had someone whispering in his ear over his shoulder, writing, and he just wrote down everything that it was saying.
Right. Now, so there's also the side of him being... There's a side of him being, like, right about this, but is there any chance, the way I see religions is someone that's trying to just make up the best thing they can to actually just say, like, oh, this happened and this happened, so follow it. I mean, do we have proof that what the exhibit was actually 666? That it was number 666?
Like, how do we know this man is just not fucking
Trying to create...
schizophrenic from all the fucking drugs he's done?
Maybe he's trying to create a religion, creating something. You never know. That's one thing I think is where I'm like...
I mean, at this point, it sounds to me this man has been searching for something so fucking long, and then his wife says she heard something. This kind of sounded a little bit like the Mormon book to me.
The Book
That's
of
what I'm
Mormon.
saying. Like
Joseph
maybe he made up the six. Like, guys, I'm telling you guys, it was Exhibit 666. There was like,
swear,
it's only convenient because he wants to go by the Beast 666.
And then when we looked down, there was $5 on the ground.
And then I found $20.
It was the weirdest thing, guys. I'm telling you. And then she told me what to write. You can read it all in their book.
I mean, but at the end of the day, how fucking insane would it be if all this actually panned
true.
out?
Oh my God.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. If that's true,
Yeah.
then if all of that actually happened, I'd like, if I had word that was like actually true, like that should happen. She didn't know about it. She went and found that Horus. Like, to me, I'd be like, okay, like, I believe something's fucked up here.
Okay, so
And
I'm not a
have
records of
person at all.
They would have records of the statue of Horus
All
being
right.
exhibit number 666.
All right. Okay, so I've got schizophrenia in my family and stuff like that, and I feel like I've got a little bit kind of thing going on here, and I've got to take medication for it and shit. But like, sometimes when I'm not on my medication, dude, I'll like be like listening to the radio, dude. And I think the radio's fucking talking to me. Like, every song's like telling me fucking what I should and should not do and shit like that. And they'll be like, oh, da 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 da, do this, do this, do this. And I'm just like, dude, that's weird.
Damn,
So
you
when-
should stop listening to rock music then.
I was gonna say, listen to Rage Against the Machines, To Kill a Man.
Dude, it fucking really fucking, it's like, boils in your chest kind of thing, dude. It's like
That's wild.
that's weird to think about, dude.
So that's what he obviously could have been. He could have been
I mean, he
fucking
could have been a schizophrenic, dude.
so fucking hardcore on. I mean, think about back in the day when your beliefs, you don't have any belief that this shit can't happen. Like nowadays, there's so much that people will disagree and argue with what's real, what's not. But I feel like back in the day, because Christianity was the biggest, stuff like that, like believing in gods was one of the most popular things around the world. Like it was the most popular thing around the world. Like it just gets fucking melted into your brain that this shit exists. And if you're a little bit crazy, it's going to amplify that.
I don't know, like
by like 10.
The word of the day was crazy.
Woo! Crazy.
For those new to the podcast, I pick a word related to the subject, and when one of these two knuckleheads say it, we take a shot.
Yes.
You are fake news.
For us to not say crazy for that long,
Right.
because I'm pretty sure we used to say in an old podcast, this shit's crazy. Isn't it just crazy? This shit's crazy.
This shit's nuts.
Cheers, boys.
Thank God
To
it
the
was
crazy people.
Yeah, to the crazies. Oh my God. Fuck.
Mine was so full. God, that hurt.
Oof.
Black Velvet can go die. Just turn the company from Black Velvet to Black Velvet Toasted Caramel, and then I'll be happy.
Black Magic Velvet.
Black Magic Velvet. Brought to you today.
Loosen me up, baby.
Right. Oh my God.
All right. So the book of the law. I just looked at it to make sure I got the title right. The book was basically about liberation, having no restrictions and following any path that you desire. The number one rule in the book of the law is
There are no rules.
don't talk about Fight Club. That's the first rule. Damn it, Dylan. Now, the first rule, or not the first rule, the number one rule is do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, which means that you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. There's nothing holding you back. There's no boundaries. There's no societal or religious boundaries holding you back. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Which honestly, if I grew up in Christianity and the way that they would teach that, if it was do what the fuck you want, if I grew up, I would have fell into that and believed it. I would have still been like, oh my God, my religion's great. I'd still be a religious person. I'd be like, do whatever the fuck you want.
It depends on the religion that you fall into, though, because like something like what his family was into.
Thelema is not the religion for.
But people in Christianity believe one thing and then they follow the rest of what it teaches.
Well, I feel like, dude, religion is more of like a fucking instruction, like a basic instruction before leaving Earth, kind of thing. Bible.
What's that Kenny Chesney song? God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I don't think it's Kenny Chesney.
I don't think, dude. I feel like if you do whatever the fuck you want to do, dude, you're gonna fucking regret your life. I feel like if you live your life and it's fucking fake. If you live a fake life, dude, it's gonna you're gonna regret that shit.
Yeah,
but
100%.
If you live your life to be real, dude, and 100% real with yourself, then you're not gonna regret anything in your life.
No. Yeah, I mean, I get, like, I understand, like, the idea of it.
But I don't know. If I just don't.
The practice of it was fucked up.
Right. If you go fucking wanting to kill people, shit, I guess I could just kill people, really. In his eyes, fuck it, right?
Yeah, basically.
It's not gonna get me anywhere less.
Might get you somewhere less.
So what if Horace and stuff like that were the admins and moderators of the fucking game that we're in, bro?
Just like kill him. They're just like typing
Yeah,
in. Like...
So like, really though, like, like if you ever fucking been on a game that does not really have admins and moderators on that play them much, dude, then when those motherfuckers come in, everybody flocks to them. What if these people, these gods of per se, were the admins and moderators of this fucking 010001 that we're in?
Yeah, I wasn't here for this.
We're just high talking about dumb shit.
Hi, talking about fucking Horace.
I know it's
an administrator.
I follow that though. Yeah, like you got that, like you said in the game when the people who are in charge that you don't even think exist pop into the game, and you're like, oh my god,
Your account banned.
Yeah, you can ban anybody. You get killed.
He's up there doing miracles. He's up on the stand, and everyone's flocked. Your
level
account
100,
banned. You're
100, because like I played RuneScape and shit like that, dude, and like when an admin came in there, dude, he could fucking just make up a fucking here's a fucking rune scimitar that I just fucking typed in a code, and here you are.
Or like they release like a boss. They like come in, release like a boss, and like, okay, loyal subjects, will fight this motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking what I mean.
They're large and in charge, dog. That's
what Horace was doing. He was just fucking kill these guys, being mean.
No, Aleister Crowley was the GM. He didn't design the game, okay? Or not the GM. He was an admin or some shit.
He was the only one that the admins would talk to.
He was like DMing them. He's like,
yeah,
hey, Horace, what should I do
DMing. He's dungeon mastering all these people. True fucking statement.
He's just fucking like, hey man, what should I be doing right now? They're like, well, you should definitely become a level 13 paladin.
Dude.
Practice black magic.
That's actually kind of funny. That's like the way I see like back in the days. Like that's like their game was Dungeons and Dragons back in the day. Like real life fucking
it wasn't a game, they lived it.
Right. Like just without the dice. But the role playing aspect was huge. That's how I see it. That's how I see in their eyes when they do anything. Same with religions and anything anywhere. I'm just like, y'all were just in my head. I'm like, y'all were just role playing hard as fuck. Like you guys were LARPing harder like than anyone today has. You guys
ever LARPed
LARPed
so hard it makes us look like idiots when we have our foam swords.
Yeah. Like their LARPing was like legit. Like we have actual swords and arrows, and we're gonna come in and invade your whole fucking country and kill you. Today's LARPing is like, I swear I fucking stabbed him. He wouldn't go down.
Put your arm behind your back, Jacob. You lying cheat.
Hey,
you fucking cheater.
Tuesdays at the Dome. Tuesdays at the Dome. If you guys want to go.
Only if fucking Aleister Crowley's religion is involved.
Jacob, I fucking stabbed you in the arm. Put your arm behind your back.
We're the army of thelema.
Dude, we should be.
Or whatever the fuck it is.
Thelema. Come in like fucking black plague doctor outfits.
Oh, that'd be fucking funny. Just be like, I'm a medic. Don't touch me. Medics are off limits.
Have someone like walk through the crowd, have someone come up and hit you with the sword. Be like,
Jacob,
dude,
I stabbed you in the fucking arm.
just walk around, be like, dude, I don't know, you just fucking hit me. Like I wasn't even playing. You just assaulted me with all these witnesses. Like call the cops. I don't know. Thinking way too deep into this.
Fuck you, Jacob, you cheater.
You fucking like, cheating.
What's the movie Role Models? When he's like, I stabbed him, I did. And he's like, no one saw you stab the king. The guy comes up, he's like, I didn't see anything.
Dude, that shit, yeah, perfect example. Just with devil worshippers and cultists.
Exactly.
Jacob, put your arm behind your back, you bitch. Dude, that'd be so. They used to do LARPing at Orchard Hill Playground, and I had always had football practice there. But my mom always made me go early because she's, well, if you're always early, you can never be late. So I'd always be early there. And one time they let me play LARP with them in my football pads. They're like, you're a berserker. I was like, I'm a football player.
How old were they?
Oh, I don't know.
They're like college age.
College age, probably.
I'm pretty sure that
I don't know. I was in 5th grade, I think. It was when I played on the Orchard Hill Panthers.
Dude, I remember the first time I ever saw like LARPing, and it was like in person, and it blew my fucking mind. I was like, where has this been? I've been using wooden fucking swords where I can't even fucking. No, I've been using wooden swords fucking that we got from the Renaissance.
Yeah, me and my brother,
remember that
me and
at all?
Andrew used to beat the fuck out of each other with those wooden swords that we got from the Renaissance
We
fair.
just beat the shit out of each other with sticks. We'd have to
sticks,
stick and fucking smack each other in the fucking heads with it.
Using sticks is called lashing or some shit. What's it called when you fucking wax them with a stick? Fucking one of the football players did it. Who did it? Was it Adrian Peterson?
AP
AP did it.
with his son.
fucking LARPed with his son, but the son did not stand a fighting chance.
Fair ass. Just
Like
fucking-
that's all he was doing. He was just trying to LARP with the son, and then all of a sudden the media blows it out of proportion.
That's what they do, dude.
That's like when all those football players beat their girlfriends up. It's like they're like on the stand, like, you don't understand. We were
just hanging
we were
out.
LARPing, dog. She tried to steal my gold and throw my kingdom over. Like,
I had to beat the shit out of her.
Hell no.
Retract all statements made, and I apologize now in advance for anyone who gets pissed off at that.
No, I don't even go.
You can't retract something you say on live air, dude. That's how it works.
Oh, I'm going to just apologize for
I
it.
mean, who really knows what we're saying right
Dylan
now?
just gets on, makes a YouTube channel called Dylan Apologizes. I would like to apologize. It's just like every week I would like to
Wouldn't it be
apologize
funny for what I said on the
our
podcast?
Just every single week. It's so fucking funny. It's just that. It's like a 5 second. It's like a vine, basically. It's just like, I'd like to apologize for what I said on this week's podcast. Thank you for understanding. And it's like,
That's it.
then it just ends. Oh, fuck.
I don't think we say anything that bad, but there's that one person that got mad that we were talking about retards, and I didn't know anything about retards.
I follow the whatever cop. When we watched that guy, the YouTuber or whatever, the whatever cop, the social
Content cop.
And he says bad words all the time and literally says, you know, like, you just let these words affect you as much as you let them affect you. And I stand behind that 100%. Words do not fucking, if they hurt you, like, fucking don't let it.
We're talking about hitting people with sticks. Those are gonna hurt you a lot more than fucking words.
Would I rather be
Dude, one time me and Andrew beat the fuck out of Courtney with our wooden swords. But we were like 8 and 6, so it's all right.
Yeah.
She was being a bitch. She was like, I'm 11 years old. I'm the boss of you. And we're like, oh, I think our wood swords beg to differ.
Think about think about kids that age. Like, I'm sure there's
She's
kids
like our
somewhere.
babysitter.
There's probably kids somewhere who fucking take it to the next level though, and like fucking actually like break someone's rib by doing that, thinking like, I'm powerful. I'm a paladin. Whack.
This one time me and Andrew were playing WWE in our living room. And I let him German suplex me, but he German suplexed me into the chair, and I literally thought I broke my hip. I literally couldn't walk for like, and then I was in art class, and I had like this weird, like not cast, but like this weird brace on my leg. And so everyone was sitting Indian style, and I'm in the front row with my legs stuck out. And the teacher's like, "Why are you sitting like that?" And I was like, "I had to go to the hospital yesterday." It's like me and my brother were playing WWF in the living room. It was still WWF at that time.
Oh, of course. The good stuff.
I never followed that shit. Don't even know what it stands for.
World Wrestling Federation.
Worldwide.
Now
Federation.
is it what's the
No, it's World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay.
They got out of having to provide, God, what was it?
Money to the pandas.
No, it's like they got out of it was some lawsuit because they changed their name from wrestlers to superstars, and they changed the name of the company.
Well,
Good for them.
I thought it was because their name was the same as the World Wildlife Foundation.
No.
So they had to change from WWF to WWE.
They did it for a legal thing.
Either way, they found a loophole.
It was to make it was like a tax thing, or it was like a tax thing or something like that.
Oh, so instead of,
I think it was a tax. It was either a tax thing or a health insurance thing.
both. Dude, my fucking job is so shitty with health insurance, or not health insurance, but fucking like auto insurance. Like I've had a ticket, and like
I ran over one grandma. My rates went so high.
You're running over one kid, and these motherfuckers won't let me drive anymore.
That's fucking crazy. I literally thought you were gonna be like, I hit one fucking grandma with my car. So in 1905, after the Great Revelation in Cairo, Crowley led the first expedition on the world's third tallest mountain, Kanchenjunga, which happened to be, guess what happened to the people that climbed the mountain with the wizard? Is what I was trying to say. My brain just turned off for a second. So he's climbing Mount Kanchenjunga, Kenchenjunga.
Kenchenjunga.
God, that's such a hard word. Just the way it's spelled is just fucking stupid. So yeah, they were hiking up the mountain with a wizard. Guess what happened to the people that were hiking up the mountain with a wizard? They died.
Well, I heard that they all were like getting in like a fucking. There was a big old fucking fight because Aleister was a fucking cockbag.
Yeah,
and was like being a huge dickbag to him or whatever.
Yeah, he believed that he was he had absolute supremacy over the people that he was hiking with.
Yeah, they were fucking peasants. What do you mean?
And he led them, or this led to him deserting the rest of the party that was with him. And the mountain men were not fond of him because he was bossing everyone around and being a fucking, like you said, a dick bag. So he wiped his hands with the group and said, "Screw ya," and went on his own path.
I read that it was that the three or some of the extra people were saying that he was being, and this is just, I didn't look into any actual comments or anything, but it said that they were not happy with the way he was, the way that he was giving rules, saying don't do this, and then in a little side section it said most climbers and mountain climbers today agreed with Crowley. He was
decisions. An expert mountain climber.
So like saying like, and these people decided to go down the mountain. What do I know?
They went down. They decided to go down the face of the mountain.
Yeah, they went down the face of the mountain, and Aleister said, "Don't do that shit." But then these people, there's people that survived to this fucking, whatever.
Right? Not all of them died.
They went down the mountain, yeah, and then like an avalanche came down and fucking got them or whatever, and like some of them survived. They were saying that fucking Aleister Crowley said that he was going to go off and summon a demon to kill them all. And then
probably did. Yeah. He probably did say
and
that.
Then he probably tried. But
and then all of a sudden, look what happens, you know.
He probably tried, but honestly, like, he knew what was fucking going on. These people,
if they really were launching off on it by himself, he was probably like, woo-hoo-hoo. And
he's like, you guys better not, or I'm gonna summon a demon. And as they're walking down the side of the mountain, he's like, hey, hey, everyone, you guys are fucked. And then just like kicks the side of the mountain in a rock, and just all the snow just slowly.
Crowley was reported to have been ignoring their cries for help and sipping tea in his tent.
He said, he like had an interview and said that he didn't give a fuck about these people.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he said, they fucking left me, so I left them.
But honestly, you could argue too, like, I mean, like, would it be safe to go down the same fucking spot that they just got avalanched on? Like, go digging for them? Could have killed him. I mean, I would have maybe tried to save people, but I mean, I don't want to die.
These motherfuckers.
I'm not going up on a mountain in the first place. Fuck that.
Yeah, but this is where he starts developing like a messiah complex, where like he was always full of himself, but in this instance, he decides that the people who don't follow him die.
Okay,
that's where he gets that idea in his head.
I see you.
Like,
if
you don't follow me, you're a fucking goner.
I think that's a good point.
Because he was fucking trying to. Because they did say that he was trying to summon demons on him. Like, if he would have just, like, went about his way.
And think about...
Okay, whatever, dude. You go about your way. These people go about their way. But once you try to start summoning demons...
Also, before we get too far, there was something, and I don't know if this is going past it or not, but there was something that talked about Crowley when he was... I'll have to talk to you about this too, because you might be the one to know this real quick. Talked about someone that he was in conjunction with who came over to it was one of the guys when he was living at his mansion or something, who came to live with him. That maybe not the mansion, but you're not supposed to
commune.
You're not supposed to pay the higher ups or whatever.
That's when he was in the fucking. That was way back when he was in fucking that.
But he said the guy was levitating or some shit. He said the guy that he brought over was like levitating or some shit.
It was like back when he was in college or whatever, dude. That when he had fucking, what was it?
When he got all his money, probably, and could put people up, you know?
Yeah. Well, the Golden Dawn is the fucking group he was in. He paid you weren't supposed to pay people to fucking teach you shit and stuff or whatever. You're supposed to get it by yourself, but he had put this dude up in a fucking room or whatever, and he was teaching him shit. And he said that fucking he went in there one day and fucking dude was levitating, but it was no big deal because it was just the fucking thing that happened with the Golden Dawn. And I was levitating.
Yeah, and I'm like, to me, part of me is like, Okay, so what guy can actually do that? And like to me, that's where a lot of it can either be
Okay, but
true or bull. You know?
okay, but listen to this though. Like, what if fucking there is a fucking group or a party or whatever that's fucking trying to fucking keep, us in this fucking lower stance of fucking being humans, and like, there was actual fucking powers you could do to fucking, do that kind of shit.
I think, and that's something like it would be like if it was kept from us. But I think the way I see the world and the way I see with as little evidence as we actually have towards it, and I think with nowadays, with how much, even the most highest people up in this world do not have the control to keep their shit secret.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about but like, what about like back in the day though? Like back in the Egyptians, dude. Like, I don't think knowledge has been linear. I think we're getting less knowledgeable. I think it's fucking on a straight path. Humans are adaptive, and humans can do what humans can do.
The majority of humans are like that.
And humans fucking can adapt to whatever fucking they've got, whatever kind of knowledge they've got in front of them at the moment, And if there has been some source that has given them this, and this, they're gonna use that, and then at some point they're gonna be like, oh well, we gotta fucking stop people from using this.
Right. And I mean, like, if it was something like that, yeah, I think there's a point where they could be like, we need to keep this a secret at all costs, because you never know. Like, we have not any actual information that this shit happened or didn't happen, like the way they say it happened. So could it be true? And whatever scientist theory of it's true and not true at the same time, if you don't know the actual answer. So I mean, that's a point. Part of me is like, if you said some guy was levitating, and this was before he was doing all these drugs and shit, and before he was getting fucking hooked on drugs, that he was saying this shit happened, or maybe he told people that this happened after he was already fucking on drugs and was like, yo, this one time back in the day, I paid this guy to come live with me and teach me about the magic.
In 1894, this dude levitated on my bed. It was fucking crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, he did have to fall back on the bed before he jumped again, but it was nuts.
He levitated there for like 3 seconds, dude. I swear.
Yo, he said he turned to the side, and he I kept asking. I was like, "Are you sure? I can't see your right foot. Are you just standing on your toe?" And he was like, "No, trust me." And I was like, "Yo, I trust you." Like.
I've seen Chris Angel levitate on TV, so I mean, I believe it.
I've seen Chris Angel levitate people on TV.
Yeah, same. I've seen him split people in half on TV.
I've seen him get ran over halfway by a steamroller.
I've seen him
on a bed of glass.
No way.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've seen him do something way crazier, but no.
I seen him one time.
No, that tops it.
I've seen him one time go in an elevator with a bunch of people, and they went up, and then an elevator came from the ground floor. And it was the same people in the elevator, all on TV, dude. I swear to God, this happened.
The one that I saw where he got ran over by a steamroller, I watched it on live on TV with my stepdad, and my mind is it's like, yo, Chris Angel Mind Freak is on. Let's watch it.
Hell yeah.
And I was screaming at the TV. I was like, no, stop! He's gonna be like a roll of toothpaste.
We've all seen Austin Powers. We know this.
God damn it, Jacob! I stabbed you in the arm.
God damn it, Jacob! I rolled you over with the steamroller.
Get out of the way!
Imagine just a LARP where you're the one guy that brings a fucking roller.
Steamroller.
You're the one guy that just
glass windows. You're just like. It's okay. It's okay. The wheels are made out of foam. It still weighs 3,000 pounds.
Dude, why can't they make a show about LARPing and just someday maybe we'll be
we gotta do it. We gotta fucking get some video cameras.
Someday, guys.
I'm going to buy a DSLR camera for doing a recorded podcast. We'll do a witchcraft one at that fucking weird house like we were talking about on Saturday.
Let's go X-Murder house.
Yeah, do one there. I'm gonna get a actual night vision camera for that.
I'm down. That'd be insane.
But I think the well house in Pfeiffer Park would be a fun one too.
That'd be a good first one.
Yeah.
It'd be easy.
Just go down there, talk about ghost stories, record it, and fucking see if the weird satanic cult that supposedly lives in town shows up.
Well, I don't think they've been in town for a while. I think it ended a lot with fucking what's his name, with the dudes that were in the Sons of Silence.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, dude, it was. There was a lot of it, dude.
I
don't know anything about the witches and their practicings there, so I think I'm the most susceptible to being taken over.
I think you might get your booty hole raped. And
I'll bring
me and Michael are going to tell you to meet us there, and we're going to be there like an hour early in masks. And
I'm going to show up and be like, I'm going to call you guys. Be like, guys, there's some weird shit going on right now.
We're gonna come like an hour late and Dylan's gonna be tied up.
Dude, we should be like, we should just ask a friend, be like, dude, do you want to come? Like, just meet us there.
Dylan's just
we're gonna set up
that fucking tractor tire that's like cemented.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome? So we tell some random friend to be on the podcast, right? Okay.
We always get so excited about it.
We say, listen up, we're gonna do this. Like, come to the woods. It's gonna be dark, but it's right off the trail. Do you know? And they'll know because everyone knows about it in Cedar Falls. When they come, we'll ask 40 of our friends to come in robes, and I'll be tied up naked to the tire. And they'll just like go to the hill.
There's like a candle right under his butthole.
Well, I mean, he's not going to see that from up at the hill, but sure, why not? Oh my god!
Like chase him out of the park.
Dude, we all should just do. That'd be fucking awesome. No shit.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then we do a real podcast.
Yes. We get everyone down there. We get like 40 people down there, make it weird as shit, candles and everything. And one of us will walk with some random person and we'll go up to the hill and look down.
Just like fucking, just black robes and Jabberwocky masks.
Yes.
This is a dream come true. Talk about the most watched video on YouTube for 2 days.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, fuck. God, that would be fucking amazing. Just like make someone think that we're fucking sacrificing Dylan.
He'd have to be just like muddy and dirty as fuck.
Wouldn't be hard. It's right next to the fucking crib.
He's got like fucking whitey tighties on, just fucking
strapped up, looking like Phil from fucking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yes, dude.
Oh fuck, dude. And be like, this is some cult shit.
Dude, how scared do you think? That'd be better than fucking Kevin Hart's fucking not Kevin Hart. Who was fucking who was that dude that fucking did that show?
R. Kelly?
No, who did that show? It was like fucking Scared to Death or whatever on like fucking
Scare Tactics. Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, yeah.
It's just like you're just like fucking where is this setting at? Oh, they show up, you're like, welcome to hell, bitch. That would be so fucking funny.
dude, it's just like, or like you or me or fucking like that. It's just like walking with the dude down there, like, oh yeah, dude, we're gonna go down and do this fucking podcast.
Talking about witchcraft.
And all of a sudden fucking Dylan's down like,
someone pops up in a black robe. You're gonna die tonight.
And then like fucking 40 people come out of the fucking woods with candles.
Oh
just
god!
Like, just like everyone like lights a lighter. There's like 1,000 people, like 40 people down there. That would be so
oh my god!
Just welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
Oh yeah.
Tia said that's incredible.
We need to do this.
This needs to happen.
You know what? That would. I feel like you put that shit on the YouTube.
I got 100 on the camera.
I mean, that's fine. They're not very expensive. We need multiple.
Okay.
Multiple.
That'd be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. Someday we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next?
I was expelling demons from my throat.
I was like, how'd you do that without the voice changer?
It was just a belch, I promise. So Crowley, after the expedition, unbothered by it, started a tour with his wife and their newly born daughter in China. This is what we were talking about before we went into the show. Once they had reached Vietnam, he decided to go to Vietnam, abandoning his family in China. And wait, no, I got that backwards. So they toured China, then went to Vietnam, and then he abandoned his wife there and went back with a mistress that he met in Vietnam back to Shanghai. And his wife was unable to manage alone in a foreign country with their daughter. The daughter died of typhoid fever. And then Crowley was just like, well, we don't have a kid together anymore, so I'm out. He left her.
Damn.
Like left her. And she was now mentally unstable, dealing with Crowley on a regular basis, and then became a severe alcoholic.
In Vietnam? Just kidding.
So
Vietnam.
was she mentally unstable because of all this fucking
Blood
clan
magic
shit and all this fucking like
rituals that he was making her do and shit like that?
Do you think all these fucking? Do you think that all these fucking drugs and shit like that fucking he's making her do, and then like fucking putting all this information? Because when you fucking do LSD and shit like that, which they didn't have LSD, they had mescaline and shit and like peyote and whatever. But like when you do these drugs and shit like that, dude, it's kind of like, dude, that fucking wipes your brain fucking clean pretty much, and then you're just like a fucking blank slate. So this dude could fucking just teach you anything.
You're just susceptible.
Yeah, dude,
Sleeper cell, dude. They talk about it in MK Ultra all the time. They would give them fucking mind altering drugs and then feed them information.
Yeah, dude, and
It's
like
MK Ultra.
yeah, it's the fucking beginning of it, dude. And it's like, I don't know, dude. That like I feel like drugs make you fucking crazy if you do these fucking drugs wrong.
Yeah, I mean, everything is bad in excess.
Exactly. And if they were
feel
fucking
like
doing them,
that's what they say. It's like you're susceptible to any old fucking thing that someone wants to throw at you. And
Yes.
back in that day when I believe people were not as cautious and aware, or not to try and feed people bullshit, we believe people are bullshitting us nowadays than we do back in the day.
Well, I mean, shit, back in the day, someone would hand you a pill and be like, hey, take this little remedy, whatever symptom you have.
Right.
But nowadays, someone hands you a pill, you can literally type in on Google
right?
the fucking numbers and shit.
963.
Yeah, and it will tell you exactly what it is.
Correct.
Huh, this will
Just-
make me
just-
feel
just
good,
the-
but
just the-
also maybe will give me testicular cancer. Sure, why not?
The access to information has made a complete change and shit like that.
Right.
Like they got fingernail polish that girls can put in their drink. Like they put their finger in their drink. If it changes colors, it means that the drink is roofied.
What fucking show was that on? Like they fucking are like.
That's a real thing.
No, okay, well, okay, but yeah, maybe it was fucking Letterkenny where they fucking give out fucking they had like roofied fucking drinks already or whatever that were like green or whatever.
No idea.
I don't remember.
It was like whenever somebody's drink would get roofied, it would turn green.
I don't know. It's been a while
Probably
since I
the
watched
Today
that show.
It's like
Matt
Lauer.
Matt, we told you to stop doing this.
God damn it, Matt. Her coffee, really? Matt, her coffee, really? Matt, her coffee.
What do you mean that coffee's green? Matt's just colorblind. They're like, Matt won't know. So if he does this to you, just make sure to call him out. Live TV. Fucking Matt, are you kidding me?
Matt, really? Matt again?
On
Matt.
live TV? You're trying to drug me on live TV?
Matt.
You guys don't remember that episode?
Just the idea of someone saying,
in there.
just the idea of someone saying Matt disappointedly over and over again. Just fucking Matt, really? Matt fucking Lauer, really? Matt. That's been on your shirt this whole time.
He just like jumps up and he's like, "Yo, I'm Matt fucking Lauer, bro. I can do whatever I
like
want."
Tom Cruise on the Oprah show, like jumping on the couch.
Yeah.
I'm Matt fucking Lauer, baby. So yeah, he left his family in Shanghai, or left him in Vietnam to die.
Fuck it.
Moral of the story.
Wait, so I'm curious.
That's where I'm
Did
going.
she became an alcoholic? Did she make it back, or was she stuck in fucking Vietnam?
I never really looked into it because I stopped caring.
Part of me wants
after
to-
she wasn't in his life anymore. I didn't care about her.
Part of me wants to believe, just because it would make for a better story, that she was left in Vietnam. Do I not want anyone to just be stranded in Vietnam? I mean,
What's
I
wrong
don't
with
know.
Vietnam?
I don't know, being in a country that's not your own and you're in Vietnam, like
Speak
back in that day.
Vietnamese.
Like nowadays, it might not be like. Nowadays, it wouldn't be so hard. You'd be like, "Can someone help me?" You know, someone speaks English. I'm sure one person in the whole.
I bet you there's a
village
lot of
speaks English.
fucking white guys
Just-
down there.
Run through the main street of like a Vietnamese city. Speak English. Someone please help me. My name is Kelly Rose. I'm lost.
Someone comes up to her.
Or Rose
and is
Kelly, my
like,
bad.
is like, she's like, I'll give anyone anything to take me home. And you're like, okay, but you say this with me. Ling hao, say it with me.
Ling Hao,
Okay, what does it mean? It means I promise this
this
or else I die.
The only thing that we know that we don't even know if it makes sense.
Oh man! So he went back to England and he ended up getting his first official disciple. Was a poet from Cambridge named Victor Neuberg. They had a physical relationship, sexually.
What, like they LARP together or what?
Like
sexually.
They,
never
like
mind, you
they
said
made
sexually.
they made sweet gay love together.
Sweet gay love is the best kind of love.
Well,
I make
Agree, disagree.
sweet gay love to my girlfriend like 2 times a week.
All right. So this guy Neuberg. Every time I say Neuberg or hear Neuberg, I think of Zoidberg and just like puts a mental image of the squid boy in my face.
Just call him Squid Boy.
you guys want to do some blood magic?
No, why are you bleeding?
On accident.
Stop playing with my knives.
Oh my god.
Well, it was the fucking bottle cap.
Dude, no, it's fucking blood magic, dude.
So Neuberg, he was in love with Crowley, and Crowley used his love to get him mixed up in Crowley's own or black magic. And Neuberg was subjected to a number of sadistic tasks to test his allegiance to Crowley.
So he was in a gang.
Yeah, blood in, blood out.
Your first task is play Man-Eater Bug face up.
At this point, Crowley was officially referring to himself as the Beast.
Oh, so he referred to himself in third party?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a
The
fucking
Beast
nerd.
doesn't like this. The Beast wants you to do this instead.
Yeah, right. What a fucking homo, dude.
You pissed the Beast off. The Beast
Said, "Let me
nuts.
suck your fucking dick."
The Beast said that he's upset with you. Talk to the hand because the Beast don't want to hear it.
Whenever I hear like the Beast, I think of the fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie Split.
Oh.
But he wasn't.
Okay, what's that fucking lady's name? Or was it Barbara?
It's like Barbara or something.
Barbara.
Something like that.
Priscilla?
I don't know.
Nah, I know a Priscilla
It'd be-
that's crazier than the Beast. than that guy.
I do too, man.
Sorry,
Priscilla, if you're listening to this from prison, what's up?
Oh, good.
Oh god, that was shots fired.
Dude, we're
You gonna come get your ass.
Dude, we're fired.
Her wife is gonna be so mad.
Her fucking her prison husband is gonna be pissed.
So Neuberg and Crowley, God,
Zoidberg.
fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
Crowley. Fuck Crowley. Crowley. Everyone knows.
Zoidberg and Crowley.
Everyone knows we mean Crowley. Just fuck that shit.
It's just that Ozzy Osbourne song. It's been one of my favorite songs for a long time. Just the organ solo at the beginning of it, and then it's just like just a dark ass song too. I've always loved that song. It's fucked me up in the head. Got my names mixed up. So the two of them set out to Algeria to perform a ritual of Enochian magic. Enochian, for those of you who don't watch Supernatural, is angel, which in the occult is considered to be a dark and dangerous set of rituals. Not surprising if you do watch the show Supernatural, because in the words of Dean, angels are such dicks. So they were practicing angel magic, basically, is what it was. Which angels are the fucking handmaidens of gods.
Right.
And so they walked deep into the Sahara Desert for 2 days until they were exhausted. The reason that they marched into the desert is because there were no landmarks in the vast desert of the Sahara for your conscience to like latch onto, which acts as a deprivation technique. And once they were fully succumbed to the environment, they performed the final act of the ritual, trying to summon Choranzon.
Carry on.
Yeah, carry on. Choranzon, the dweller of the abyss, seen to the occult as the actual devil himself. And this ritual, they were attempting to open the gates of hell. And it was a ring of fire ritual in the middle of the desert where Aleister Crowley was on the outside, which is not... He literally was testing Neuberg's will by putting him in the center of the circle and staying outside of it when Neuberg's the apprentice, which is a huge no-no in occult rituals, to have the most powerful magician not the focus of the ritual, because the apprentice can go mad hearing voices inside their head that they never get rid of. It's like what's said to happen. Like if the most powerful wizard or warlock or whatnot is not the focus of the spell, like the person's gonna go fucking insane.
He probably told his buddy, like in his head, he was probably crazy. Crowley was like, well, it should be me, but honestly, you are the chosen one. You are to bring balance to this.
Have you
balance
heard
to
of,
the
like,
circle.
the Indians and shit like that would fucking, they'd fucking do the same thing. They'd send their kids off to fucking the woods for fucking like weeks at a time to make sure that they had the spirit.
Have you seen Hell on Wheels? Because they depict an Indian ritual on there where the guy pierces his nipples and ties a rope to a tree and suspends himself from the tree off his nipples.
And he gets
he sees God.
Well, fucking dude, the pain fucking would it release fucking so much fucking adrenaline and shit like that, dude. It would be so fucking crazy, dude. If you
he's not like he leans back.
But if you were to be
it's weird.
If you were to be, I've never seen that movie, but
if
you were to be tripping balls or were to be fucking, been fucking starving for fucking 3 days, or however long, whatever. If you were fucking starving and shit like that, dude, you would be hallucinating your motherfucking ass off.
Yeah, I think you would actually it's a TV show.
What's it called?
It's on Netflix. Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
I'll just give you my Netflix login.
All right.
But yeah, no, I think I think that you personally would really associate with the main character, Colin Bohannon.
Okay.
He's just like you. I'm just.
We both.
He looks just
really
like
small
you.
penises.
We both got the micro penis.
We're both Americans. We have the small penis.
So during the ritual, Crowley says that he became sexually aroused. And in the submissive portion of the man-on-man act of lovemaking, he said that he was struck with a white light and gets a revelation that sex itself is a sacrament to the gods and can be used to praise them. And it can help you achieve your magical... I don't really know. He gets pegged in... This is what I was telling you guys about the other day. He gets pegged in the butt, and he comes in the desert from getting pegged in the butt. Milking the prostate, I guess, is the...
So he hit his G-spot, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he had the best orgasm of his life in the desert after fucking not eating for 3 days, and he fucking was hallucinating.
Yeah, and hiking for who knows how many miles.
Right, dude. So he had the best orgasm in his life and fucking thought he saw God.
And he decides that that's where the term sex magic comes from, from that ritual.
I believe it.
And that's what he continued to do with the rest of his life.
Sex magic?
Imagine him saying we were secluded in the desert. Imagine them just being like a mile away from town. All right. Well, I can't see the town anymore.
You're just like, oh, that must be them damn coyotes again.
Oh! Have you guys ever fucking been to the dunes in Colorado?
No.
Dude, them fuckers are fucking crazy, and it sucks, though, because...
Have you ever heard coyotes out there?
No.
Because guess what? It's probably sex magic.
It's definitely sex magic. You heard it here first. You hear coyotes, it's not coyotes. It's actually sex magic.
when I'm out of my grandpa's farm at night by the fire, I hear so much sex magic going on. It's crazy.
You almost made Michael spit out his Modelo's.
Yeah, dude.
You son of a bitch.
I'm only like 6 to 8.
It's Modelo time, dude.
It's sex magic time.
Dude, sex magic.
That's what
time.
I'm gonna. Every time I watch The Farm, that's all I'm gonna think about when I hear coyotes crying out in the field.
I actually have it right here. Whoops. In my notes for some of the funnier things that I thought that I wrote all my notes, and then next to the only notes that I had, sex magic and taboo positions, anal. And I put a little smiley face next to it because I thought it was so funny. I was like, dude, first of all, sex magic, the guy would have been a god at Hogwarts.
We got a studio dog in here right now.
Yeah, we got the studio dog. And plus, he talked about taboo positions. And I was like really confused about what the taboo positions were. And it said anal. And I was like, damn, dog, like fucking...
How you gonna have how are you gonna have man on man butt fucking with no anal?
Well, I thought taboo sex positions. I was thinking like what, like reverse cowgirl. Like I was like, what possible sex positions could there be? And it just meant anal. You know. You know how many people worship his sexual teachings.
Come on, Piper, get out of here.
Come on, studio dog.
Crazy little bitch.
But yeah, I got some nice little smiley face next to sex magic and taboo positions anal because you see in my notes, it's the only out of all my notes, it's the only one that has a little smiley face next to it.
Why is anal a taboo position?
That's what I thought positions. That's why I thought it was funny because fucking that's not a position. Doggy, if anything, it would have been doggy style. That would have been the position. Well, anal's just fucking
maybe it's just girls can't do anal.
Well, you're still a virgin if you do anal, right?
I don't know. In my experiences, they can't. They always cry at the end of it.
Dude,
it's just weird.
They cry at the beginning too if you're not slow enough. If you
they cried the whole time.
They usually do. Let's just be honest.
It's like your tears don't make me.
Dude, the tears actually fucking make me come faster. Let's just say that.
They make me go from a full send to a what's wrong? What's happening?
Oh, see, mine's fucking
my
tears is like I like the pain, bitch.
My 6-second apology video just got a lot longer.
They just have to make another 6-second apology video. You have to
I'm gonna have like 10 of them for this episode. Anyways, fair enough.
So Crowley then headed to New York, leaving his broken and disheveled apprentice behind, and began what he referred to as sex magic, keeping a detailed log of his sexual exploits. Most of them were at a Turkish bathhouse in New York City.
So that's where, so...
They still got bathhouses?
Yeah. Then, what the fuck is the NBA player that was married to a Kardashian?
Odom?
Yeah, Lamar Odom. Yeah, he got caught going to a bathhouse.
Hell yeah.
I don't see why that's a bad thing. You're just trying to go clean up.
I mean, what? It's not the worst thing that happened to someone that was involved with a Kardashian. Look at Kim. How'd the whole family get famous? Because she got pegged by fucking Ray J.
Ray J in the booty hole.
Who fucking hilariously wrote a song called I Hit It First.
Hell yeah.
He used a picture. He literally like blurred up a picture of her off Kanye West's Instagram and used it as the singles.
No shit.
Yeah, have you guys never seen that?
I've never seen that.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I'll show you guys in a little bit. It's fucking amazing.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, the song's just like I hit it first. It's fucking beautiful.
So wait, we're talking about, and I don't want to go. I don't know too far if this is too far.
Go for it, man.
What? So one of
Full
his kids that he had, and this is just a curiosity thing that I put in here, was one of his kids' names was Lilith. Is that one of the things where people get Lilith from, or is that from something else, or did he name his kid from
Adam's first wife?
Yeah, Lilith is a biblical
That's okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not fucking smart about that, but do you think he named her after that then? Like, I mean,
Could have.
or Lilith. Lilith's just a cool, that's just a cool
He
name.
probably definitely named her after
Yeah,
that. 100%,
probably.
dude. He was very fucking. Dude, I
Because
just
Lilith
feel
is like
he
an
was-
anti-Christian
I-
character in
dude,
the Bible.
From what I can
So
tell
that
from
makes
him, dude.
It makes
a lot of
sense that he
Yeah.
would name his
So
child
there's
Lilith.
this thing. There's two things I can tell about this man right here. This was actually very fucking real, or he was a schizophrenic fucking dude that just fucking took everything to heart. Because, that shit fucking... It's very real.
So what's up? What are we gonna talk about
So
with
we're,
him?
We're in New York. So after the First World War starts, he offered his service to the UK Ministry of Defense as a spy, but he was rejected. But some people claim that he wasn't rejected. He was really like a secret agent spy.
Right.
I heard that he became a spy
Crowley.
for the British because on his resume he said he fucking broke into a secret society because when he went to the Golden Dawn that he had used a fucking
See, that's where it's like
pseudonym
controversial.
name, yeah.
Because if you look at anything that the British the Brits post about it, they're not going to admit that he was their spy.
Exactly, right.
Also, because of some of the shit that he did, they're never going to admit it, even if he did anything good. But what I watched on the BBC documentary, they said that he was not accepted into their employ, basically. Like they rejected him, is what the BBC documentary said. But again, the British are never gonna, with his reputation, never gonna admit or deny, or they're gonna deny it, but they're never gonna admit that he was a part of their government. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But there's a lot, there's a lot of shit that points that he was working with them. I don't know. I don't really know. Because some of the shit that he did when he was working in New York definitely says like, oh, they don't want me to be with them, then fuck them. Because he was hired by a German spy named George Sylvester Virac to write for a paper called The Fatherland, which was publishing German propaganda to New Yorkers trying to keep America out of the war.
Sorry.
No, you go.
They said that, yes. I don't know if you already said, but they said that his propaganda was like over the top to the point where it was like he was like doing over the top propaganda where it almost like made them look bad.
Yeah, well, the BBC documentary that I watched, they talked about how that was just his defense because he was rejected. But like I said, I mean, it's really kind of there's people that claim that he was and people that claim that he wasn't. So at this point, it's just either like it's what was he?
Did you guys? Okay, so I didn't really look into this, and I wish I would have like checked into it. I totally spaced it, but it said something about I can't remember the ship's name, but about him they don't know if it was real or not, about him being one of the pushes towards sinking a ship, which actually got America in the war.
He tried to push the German army into attacking a harbor that hosted a ship that ended up getting America in the war. Yeah, he did that. I don't know. It's really his whole, because he was denied in the Second World War. He was denied. He applied to be a spy again in the Second World War, and he was denied then. So I don't know if I believe, well, he got accepted the first time and then denied the second time, or what. Like, it's kind of one of those things where I'm just going to go with what the BBC says because it's pushed like it's like a government-owned company. I don't know.
But wait, you're gonna go with what the BBC said, even though they're the ones that would have been infiltrated, right?
So, well, the BBC is the British Broadcasting Company, and one of the documentaries I watched was about, and they said that they just flat out denied him the job as a spy, during the First World War, and then they again denied him in the Second World War. I don't know.
And we talked about his ego
But
before.
it's like
he has an ego thinking that he can be this person. I infiltrated the fucking circle, even though halfway through they figured it out that I wasn't this person, and I, just completely admitted.
It's like a debated thing about his life is whether or not he was a intelligence agent in the First World War. I mean, he could have been.
Was this him though? Do we have this information? Probably, I'm guessing from him talking. Was he? But did he talk about that, or did he? Because it says so. He died in 1947. He died in 1947, which was right after the Second World War. So if he was trying to be a spy for the Second World War, did he maybe try and say that he was already one for the First World War? Or was it he actually was? Because like you said, it's word of mouth, and shit back in the day doesn't get traveled as well as it does now. So I mean, who fucking knows, dude?
All I know is that the propaganda that he was issuing on behalf of the Germans for the German-owned newspaper, he issued like ridiculous stories and publications and he used it as defense to describe the he was like, I issued utter nonsense to make the Germans look bad. But then the British press went on to call him a traitor and a scumbag and shit. He didn't return to Britain for like 20 years after this. And his most notable piece was an open letter he wrote. I fucking love this. An open letter he wrote to a Zeppelin bomber that bombed the town that his aunt lived in, but they didn't get her house. And then he gave the Zeppelin bomber her exact address. He's like, the next time you bomb this town, make sure you go to 203 fucking fuck off Boulevard.
God damn.
And that's when he was officially denounced by the British press as a traitor.
What so I can't remember exactly the date that it was when that he like did his other shit and was like literally like kicked out of like, I'm too drunk to think of the word. When he got fucking deported or whatever.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're really close.
Right on.
So he spent many years in the United States and traveled while he was here. He tried peyote for the first time in Detroit.
Jealous.
I mean, I could think of 10 other cities I'd rather do peyote in than Detroit.
Oh yeah, right, Detroit.
I mean, this is before it was Motor City.
Yeah, well, that's back in the day when that was one of the hopping cities. I mean, fuck. Back in the day when that's one of the bigger cities, fuck yeah. Give me that shit and let me have a night in the town. Let me have a good time.
Yeah, so he ended up moving to New Orleans, which he said was one of his favorite cities in the world. He performed a ritual called Imalantra. He believed that he was visited by an unearthly entity at this time and drew a picture of what he saw and published it and called it Lamb. It was literally a picture of a gray alien.
Really?
Like a gray.
A gray. Interesting.
Yeah, like them little short, 3 foot tall fuckers with the egg-shaped heads.
What painting of this was this?
Lamb. Lam.
So he saw a gray alien.
Essentially, yeah. But he thought that it was a spirit.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So after this, Crowley decided that it was time for him to find a place where he could practice the religion that he had now created called thelema. And he wanted to go somewhere away from the eyes of England because now he was being watched as a traitor to the Queen. He had a ranch, or he bought a ranch on a desolated island in Sicily called the Abbey of Thelema. And at this time, he was suffering from asthma that he developed as a mountain climber. And they diagnosed him with severe asthma. and prescribed him heroin.
What?
Yeah, this is back in like this is 1920. This is the year when they were prescribing heroin as a painkiller.
Oh hell yeah!
And
The precursor to all.
that's where his drug addiction became severe, was when he was prescribed heroin for the first time. Like at first he would just dabble in drugs and butt fuck people and hang out, but now he was like
addicted.
Oh,
to
they want
drugs.
Yeah, and he was like, I have all this money, I can buy a fuck ton of heroin and cocaine. He literally at this the Abbey of Thelema, he would have I imagine it being like end tables, but like circular end tables, and one had cocaine and one had heroin piled up. That's the way it's described, though.
No shit.
Yeah,
I wish I
just piles of it. And so he founded the commune in Sicily that practiced beliefs that said that one day would sweep Christianity away and all men would be free of restrictions and pressure. It consisted of his new mistress, Leah Herzig, and her newborn baby, and a motley crew of followers from all around the world.
Motley crew, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of the few rules of the coven is that they would wear robes and pray to the Egyptian sun god Ra at set times during the day. Well, that was literally one of the only rules.
Like 3 times during the day?
I mean,
whatever
I never found anything specific on
what if that was
like
the precursor to the Muslim
After
religion?
every time you jerk it, you
that's been
pray.
around for a lot longer than thelema.
Oh.
Every time you jerk it, you just gotta pray and be like, "Yo, I'm sorry for what I just did," like 7 times in a row.
So Crowley met this Leah Herzig girl in New York when she was 19 years old. And she was said to have been willing to do anything for him. She admitted
her stuff.
Yeah, she admitted herself that she would kill herself for him, prostitute herself for him, and kill others for him.
This girl is the one. I think it was the one, right? That like had read everything that he ever put out, right?
Probably.
She was like obsessed. Literally like knew everything about him. Read every single piece of literature that this guy put out.
Yeah. And they practiced sex magic at this coven while taking opium, hashish, and cocaine. And they even adopted a dog that they named Satan.
Weird.
Not weird to him. This is my dog, Satan.
Yeah, but to Crowley, it was just a social experiment. Like, where he would just leave piles of drugs around. The children would run around naked and watch the adults participate in sex magic rituals. Like, the kids watched.
They'd be free to watch.
Oh, yeah.
The kids would be like, I don't want to watch this. I want to go play kickball.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, dude. If you was a kid, what the fuck would I want to watch that bullshit for?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he believed that if you gave man absolute freedom, that it would be a good thing.
I feel like it might, though. Like, why with all these social constructs, dude? Then you are defining, this is what you base women off of. This is what you base men off of.
I think there's good and bad.
Ultimate freedom in the world. If there's in a let's say fucking maybe a couple generations, say 10 generations, I feel like everything will be fucking crazy different.
I feel like there'd be good and bad though. You're always gonna have your
10
psychopaths.
generations. Like America's 4 or 5 generations in right now, and it's completely different from what it used to be.
Right.
I think it's that's one way of looking, but I mean, God, there's always going to be psychopaths and people that have a little bit of psychopath in them, no matter what. And like you just give them the thought to let their thoughts run wild. You never know. It's a gamble. I think it's just a gamble.
So they practice 3 types of sex magic at this commune. Oh my God, I can't even talk. My tongue just got so fat. Autoerotic, which is masturbation. Homosexual, which is homosexual. And heterosexual, which is heterosexual. The 3 types of magic that they practiced. Could you imagine having to jerk off in front of that guy? It's a fucking.
I would get an S plus. I would get an A plus plus in that class.
I'd have friction burns on my dick.
I'd be yelling at him. What you think? Because you're standing there, there's bugs on you. No, watch me come all over myself.
Wait, we should fucking start a game where you've got to fucking
like a muffin.
We'll pit two people against each other, and if you don't fucking come first, you die.
That's probably been a real thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome
this
to
guy,
Satan worship.
Yeah. Welcome to Satan worship. Our church is hardcore.
Emphasis on the hard.
Emphasis on the herd.
If anyone was gonna if Aleister Crowley heard us fucking talk about that idea right now, he'd be like, "Fuck, why didn't I think of that first?" Not even lying.
One of his disciples, Raoul Loveday, died from an illness after he drank the blood of a cat that was used in a ritual. He suffered from liver failure.
He died of that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No shit.
Yes. And his wife immediately left. She was never wanting to be a part of it, but Raoul followed Crowley like he was the second coming of Christ.
Right.
And so she was like, well, we got a kid together. We might as well fucking, if this is what you want to do.
Together, right?
And once he died, she left. And she went to the press right away and started talking to them about all the shit that was going on in Sicily.
Well, that's what she talked about. It was there in Sicily. That's where he had the room of fucking pictures and shit.
Yes. What was it? On one of the walls in the room where they would perform the rituals, it had murals painted by Crowley, and one of them had a depiction of his own face with a banner above it reading, "Start your demonic smile to my brain, soak me in cognac and cocaine."
Have you seen the picture of The Sun by Aleister Crowley?
No.
Dude, it is actually like if I were tripping balls, dude, that would be very.
He was not a bad artist.
He was not a bad artist
I
at
saw
all,
a few of the
dude.
pictures. I was like, damn, this guy actually painted this.
Dude,
Because
very good.
that's if I was gonna, I'm not a big guy to be like, oh, your fucking weird paintings artistic.
Yeah.
His paintings, that was fucking art.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
it's
for
like,
his
dude,
teachings,
like,
but those paintings was
If you ever
fucking art,
fucking
dude.
trip fucking balls, dude, if you were to trip balls to those fucking photos, it would fucking bring you someplace special, I feel.
Yeah, special in a good or bad way.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
wrong
The
person
one,
asked,
the one that says The Sun is a fucking self fucking portrait or whatever, and I think it's the one you're talking about. That one's actually fucking trippy as fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure we're gonna probably end with this Sicily house and then pick up again next week. But we got more on this because we're over 2 hours now. Holy shit! Feels like it's been like 15 minutes to me. Whoa. So one ritual that he was performing there, the sex magic ritual. Originally, Leah Herzig, his devoted follower from New York, was supposed to have sex with a goat. And when the goat came inside of her, he was going to slit the throat of the goat. But the goat didn't want to fuck her.
Oh, the goat didn't want to?
They couldn't get the goat to perform.
I thought the girl didn't want. Oh, that's
goat.
weird. I thought the girl the whole time when I didn't read enough into it. I thought the girl was like, you know what? I'm having second thoughts about this.
Yeah, how fucking gross do you have to be to like a goat won't?
Like, yeah. Pretty fucking gross.
You gotta give us some Viagra.
So what ended up happening was Crowley had sex with her instead, and when he orgasmed,
he
slit the goat's throat over her naked body.
Damn. That would be kind of sexy.
I mean, you're speaking in terms of in Aleister Crowley's eyes.
I just went from 6 to midnight. What's up, boys?
I mean, I'm up for a while, boys.
In his eyes, yeah. In Aleister's eyes, that would be sexy. He's probably looking at every other American.
Your fucking arms and you're fucking pumping away, and all of a sudden,
he's probably like looking at every other American like, you guys have boring ass sex. Your guys' sex is so boring.
Yeah,
you should try my shit.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Dogma?
Yeah.
And when what's his name's like, oh, from what I've heard, sex is a joke up down here anyway. You know,
Wasn't that like one of your favorite movies in high school?
dude, that was such a great movie.
I remember that. I remember like the first time I ever stayed over here, I was like, let's watch Dogma, dude. And I was like, all right.
I just had such a big crush on Selma Hayek.
I had, yeah, true that. I still do.
Dude, oh my god.
Selma Hayek, dude. That girl was made in a
She's
mold.
like 50-something years old.
And she's still hot as hell.
Man. So we're going to have to fucking do a poll. Selma Hayek or Jennifer Aniston. Because they're about the same age.
Selma Hayek all day.
I never, after watching Friends, fucking just ruined it for me. I fucking hated her. I grew up watching Friends before I knew who Jennifer Aniston was, and I just fucking hated her. She was a bitch.
I've never thought Jennifer Aniston was that. Like, I mean, she's hot.
She's fucking
but
smoking.
yeah, she's fucking hot as shit. But
Yeah.
you fucking put Selma Hayek on the same.
Dude, Selma Hayek is not, way over her plane, dude.
Selma Hayek's like 10 plus, like 10 plus 1 at least.
She's a California 10. You know, and that's like an Iowa 13.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All we have are girls that are into horses.
Horse girls.
Oh, no.
Spoken from
Dude,
real Iowans.
this whole time that fucking they're on this commune, Crowley is like, he's going to the mainland and for like days at a time, getting more cocaine and more heroin.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking boys of the night. Usually we call them ladies of the night, but having sex with male prostitutes and then coming back. Dude, can you imagine the odds that not every single person in his commune died of AIDS?
Damn. Was AIDS a thing back then?
Probably.
I don't think AIDS was a thing until the government invented it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a very strong point. I mean, once they figured out sexually transmitted diseases, like anything, they could have made their own crazy fucking disease and all
With the
that.
fact that the women in this commune weren't walking around with like crippling pains in their ovaries from the
I've got
gonorrhea
super
and
gonorrhea.
syphilis.
right?
Like, oh my god.
Especially
they
back
probably
in the
did
day.
though. They
They
probably
probably
did because
did.
it said that all of his followers went mad after they were not under his tutelage
I mean, that was
anymore.
some syphilis.
Yeah, probably.
Right,
Syphilis.
syphilis and that
Syphilis
shit
makes
makes
people-
yeah.
Yeah,
Just like fucking the guy from the jail cell. Syphilis. What's the guy from the jail cell fucking on the island? I'm spacing.
Epstein?
No. The mob guy from fucking
Oh,
Alcatraz.
Al Capone.
Al Capone, he had syphilis and
Fishing in
he
his
was
pool.
he was fishing in his swimming pool for fish. Like that's what syphilis does to you. Like
time out though. Like, if you could put fish in that swimming pool and you could fish in that thing, might as well.
Well,
Be the
I mean,
cleanest fish you
it-
ever ate, dude. All
it
that
would-
chlorine.
it would have been different if people who were working with him said that there were fish in the pool, but they said there were no fish in the swimming pool, and he would sit on the diving board and fish for fish.
no,
He's
Yeah.
like dipping his toes in the
No
water.
shit.
Like,
Dude, his IQ was
yeah.
like, but
well,
to
he
be
had
fair,
an IQ
yeah.
of 53
yeah,
or
his
something
IQ
like that.
was
Like,
he was a dumbass. If you never, I
he was
watched.
just brutal, so people followed him.
Yeah,
I used to
that's-
pick people in the back of the fucking throat.
That's all he was just some guy who fucking was in power, so people
He was
followed.
really bad with money, and he got arrested for it.
Yeah, that
Fucking
guy.
Wesley Snipes kind
It
of.
was a syphilis, dude. Well, I'm not saying
The
his
white
IQ
Wesley
helped, but
Snipes.
the syphilis will drive anyone mad, dude.
You're
Can't
right
trust the
about that.
syphilis.
Can't trust the syphilis. And if that's what you got from this episode, that's what you got from this episode.
Don't trust the syphilis.
Get your
ever.
shit cured.
Check a
Oh,
girl,
fuck.
drill her, do whatever you gotta do. Just be like, bro, do you got syphilis or not?
Just pour rubbing alcohol on your dick after. You'll be fine.
Pour it on before, dude. Just
Pour it down your dick.
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do with syphilis.
dip the
that shit gets
condom
in there.
inside of it.
Oh.
Oh man! A few years after the commune set up in Sicily on that island, Benito Mussolini deported Crowley and his followers based on reports of human and animal sacrifices
Damn.
and unimaginable sexual depravity. This caused an international scandal, and the British press covered it very poorly, or in his favor, very poorly.
Okay.
This is where Aleister Crowley was given the nickname the wickedest man in the world.
Oh, okay.
Was when he was deported. The nickname is understandable if you do shit that makes Mussolini say, "Nah, bro, this is too much.
Mussolini,
Get the
the
fuck,
dictator.
yeah, get the fuck out of my country." You got to be doing some pretty bad shit because Mussolini was not a good guy. Literally, the anti-fascist movement started because of Mussolini.
Damn, Antifa.
Dude,
Now it's a bunch of white dudes with dreadlocks in California.
That stink.
Yeah, they stink. Stay away from them.
They have never taken a shower.
so we gotta stop. Put this on.
Dude,
Put
we
this
should
on
put
hold
this on
for
hold.
another. We gotta finish it.
Oh, we're not gonna finish this episode.
No, I mean
it's
we
gonna
gotta
be a
put it on
two-parter.
stop.
That's
We
what I'm
gotta.
saying.
Oh, but
Yeah.
but there's a little bit more. here.
Okay.
He was said to do things that even he was disgusted by. This is in his journal, but he made himself learn to enjoy it. Whether that was necrophilia or bestiality, who really knows? It was probably both.
I mean, if you
Till
got
they
a
learn
heater
to
for
enjoy
thighs,
it.
Like if you're doing shit and you're like, this is fucked up, but you learn to enjoy it.
if you got a heater for her thighs, I mean, how bad is it? Right? Still warm. That was a fucking Avenged Sevenfold.
I know,
reference.
I
already got that one.
Right, I got that. I got that one.
one.
It's one of my favorite songs by them.
They don't cry.
No, I gotta hear
That's why I
your
gotta hear
thighs.
for your
That was
No,
the
no.
best road trip ever. Even though we only went like 45 minutes, it took us like 2 hours in the snowstorm.
Got lost in the snowstorm
Jesus
trying to
Christ.
find some girls. It's all right.
Our first trip to Allison.
Right?
My only trip to
I've
Allison.
Was that your only time you ever went there?
Yeah.
done a lot of houses in Allison.
Me too. Yeah.
Dude, a lot of houses.
Their house is like a fucking. We drove by it one day, getting lunch. Their house is like a fucking, not mortuary, but it's not like a house anymore. It's like a business now.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was for sale a while ago.
Well, this is like fuck. What would have been like 2016 was the last time I drove by it. In 2017.
Oh, about the same time.
Yeah, it was like there was a business sign in front of it. I was like, what the fuck?
Weird.
I was like, hey, a bunch of hot girls used to live there. And the guy in the truck with me was like, really? I was like, yeah, we used to come down here and hang out with them. And like, you guys came all the way out here for pussy? And I was like, yeah.
It was only 40 minutes away, dude. This one dude that I worked with, dude, he drove 4 hours for some pussy and got arrested and didn't get any pussy.
That's just the worst luck.
That's the worst luck ever, dude.
How do you? Yeah, never mind.
He got a.
So what else about Crowley do we got?
All right, so it said that when he left the commune, all his disciples were lost, and the commune basically just like dispersed. Most of them turned to madness, probably because of the drug use and the deprivation of the social experiment that he was doing on them. And this Leah Herzig bitch, she eventually turned. She kept following him. And that's what we'll start next week. Is that she kept following him, but eventually she would turn to prostitution. But she was the lucky one because she was at least making money. Many of them ended up broke in madness and homes.
Dude, I'm just gonna put this right here now. A lot of extra drug use will turn to schizophrenia, dude. I'm 100% of that. I think I've got schizophrenia because of my drug use.
Because
maybe
of the
it's-
drug use, or just the?
Or maybe it's just because I got older and I got fucking schizophrenia. Who knows?
I think everyone's got a little bit of everything, you know. I think it's just on a spectrum.
I'm on that.
You're starting to sound like Courtney right now.
Damn, Court. Damn, Court.
Now I'm gonna do the outro. You're gonna go take a piss break during the outro.
Dude, I've been drinking so much beer and water today because I've been gaining weight. It's ridiculous.
You think beer's gonna help you?
No, that's why I just step on the scale and I'm like, I need to drink like an absolute ungodly amount of water now. And 'cause otherwise I'm gonna turn back into Fat Albert again.
I'll be mushmouth.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for welcome. Thank you for watching another episode of the WRK podcast where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows? Hope you enjoyed your trip down Aleister Lane. Yeah, we're on Twitter at WRK Pod, Instagram, WRK Podcast, Patreon.com/WRK Pod. Be sure to follow all of those. Subscribe to the Patreon. Help us make the show not a daily event, but a more frequent event. And yeah, I mean, just if you need links, they're in the description. And if you need more than that, visit our website, wrkpodcast.com. That's all I got. Tune in for next week. Aleister Crowley, part 2.
Don't want to go to work tomorrow. And then she'll sit down. Oh, I'm talking to this little Asian bitch on fucking Tinder.